already getting this set up in here as well too. Shout out to everybody coming in.
Shout out to y'all, man. I've been looking at these videos right now, as a matter of fact, and these women, man, I don't know if these FBA women or not, but they sure sound crazy as hell. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, she sound. I mean, I retweeted with Tutor what his tweet was, and I just put in my caption like, so she rather wish death on her father because her father has to be black. You know what I'm saying? But see, look, this was what Dr. Clark was always talking about as far as the mulatto. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think mulatto mean Hispanic. It don't mean Hispanic. It means a white parent and a black parent. You know what I'm saying? And see, the joke is on the offspring, Professor. You know how Neely Fuller always be saying, sex between a white man and a white person and a black person, while the system of racism is still in place. The biggest joke is on the offspring. Now you got this girl wishing death on black men that look like her daddy, but for the white women who she's clearly mad at or angry at, she just wishes, I just hope you get what you want. You black guy, don't call nobody. You get a black guy, I don't care. But it's like the fathers and your children, parentless or fatherless. Oh well. Like, god damn, you got that much hate for black people? Like, it's just really, really strange.
Real talk. I'm gonna go ahead, y'all. We got our people coming in here. Everybody's starting to fill in here. So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and retweet the space out. I'm gonna get ready to go and get into the conversation, and we're gonna start this thing up tonight. Shout out to all you guys coming up in here on X. Shout out to everybody on YouTube as well too. Tonight's conversation, we're gonna be talking about the Trump immigration reform, and we're also gonna be talking about $200 million that the NAACP said that they're gonna put up there for the Black Business Fund. So we're gonna discuss all of that. Park, I'm gonna get to you after I touch up on the articles. I know you like to come in and sometimes and say your say and then bounce and whatnot, but we're gonna get to the program and discussion tonight. And then when you get a chance, because I know you probably butthurt severely after this election here, because we told you what was gonna happen, but
I'm extremely happy.
No, yeah. Okay. I got you. But mute back up. We're gonna get to you. You first hand up, so I'm gonna get to you, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hit this conversation going. The mass deportation and the NAACP $200 million fund. A lot of people saw that article that I posted a couple of days ago, and they was going crazy. Like, who's this money going to go to? Is this legit? Is it real? I can only tell y'all what the article says. You'd have to actually see them actually put this in effect. But knowing the history of the NAACP, I'm sure it's going to be a people of color type fund as well. That's just my personal opinion. So that's what it is. Shout out to everybody coming up in here. Share the room out tonight. Share it if you're on YouTube as well too. For those that can, support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today, once again in America. That is $Newstoter, Newstoter. Make sure you guys go ahead and join up also on the actual on the Newstoter.com platform. Become an actual member on there. Like posts, share posts, comment on posts. Become part of the community. Support us for as little as $1.75 a month. Let me go ahead. I want to go ahead and start on the NAACP. Then we're going to hit the Trump because I know y'all all want to talk about that. The NAACP announces a $200 million fund to support Black businesses as part of a reparative economic justice initiative. The NAACP, this is from the one of our curation partners, the Neo Jim Crow as well. The NAACP has launched a $200 million initiative to strengthen Black businesses through a focused investment fund. The new NAACP Capital Fund is a targeted investment in the future of Black businesses aimed at closing the racial wealth gap and addressing the funding challenges that many Black-owned businesses encounter. The funds aim to shift the economic landscape by focusing on ventures led by Black founders and entrepreneurs. This initiative underscores the understanding that supporting Black business owners can foster sustainable growth for both the Black community and the larger economy. It was created to reverse trends that have left many Black entrepreneurs excluded from the economic growth. As an ever-evolving legacy organization, the NAACP knows that the initiative is born out of inclusiveness, said NAACP President and CEO Derek Johnson. Impact investing has the power to drive historic financial returns and uplift overlooked communities. The U.S. Census Bureau reports that while Black-owned businesses make up roughly 10% of all U.S. businesses, they receive less than 1% of venture capital funding. This gap between entrepreneur ambition and financial backing highlights systematic inequities, which the NAACP Capital aims to combat through the fund that serves as a form of reparative economic justice by providing Black entrepreneurs with essential resources for growth and success. Alongside financial support from the NAACP Capital Fund, Black businesses will gain access to business development services, mentorship, and networking opportunities, equipping them to tackle the challenges of operating in today's competitive market. Investment is the backbone of impact, and impact investing will shape social economics for generations to come. Johnson said it is time to invest in fund managers who share a forward-looking vision that invests in innovation and technology, ensuring the economy works for everybody, not just a select few. The initiative benefits not only Black entrepreneurs, but also the entire U.S. economy. Supporting diverse businesses bolsters the market, fuels innovations, and generates jobs. So, like I say, I'm gonna go ahead and touch up on the other article. You guys, after that, feel free. Park, I know you had your hand up. I want to go ahead and get on this. This is from Reuters. It says, It says, Americans see immigration as top issue for Trump to tackle. Reuters poll find Washington, D.C., November 7th. Reuters, Americans see immigration as the most pressing issue for President-elect Donald Trump to address, and a large majority believe he will order mass deportations of people living in the U.S. illegally. Reuters poll that closed Thursday found respondents to the two-day poll conducted in hours after the Republican clinched his election victory were divided about his plans to expel large numbers of people, asked what Trump's top priority should be in the first 100 days following his January 20 inauguration. 25% of respondents said he should prioritize immigration, a much larger share than any other issue. Some 14% of respondents said Trump should focus on income equality. 12% said taxes, and smaller shares picked healthcare, crime, jobs, or the environment. Some 82% of the respondents in the poll considered likely that Trump would order mass deportations, including similar shares of Democrats and Republicans. Many said they are concerned about the expected policy, including 82% of Democrats and 40% of independents. About 9 in 10 Republicans say they were not concerned Trump could order mass deportations. Trump campaigned to return to the White House, vowing a vast immigration crackdown, including a promise to deport record numbers of immigrants, and an Operation Trump's running mate J.D. Vance estimated could remove 1 million people per year. During his campaign, Trump frequently called attention to crimes reportedly committed by immigrants lacking legal status. Though numerous studies have shown immigrants do not commit crimes at higher rates than native-born Americans. Trump backers, including some who could enter his second administration, anticipate the Republican will call on everyone from the U.S. military to diplomats overseas to turn the promise of mass deportation into reality. The effort would include cooperation with Republican-led states and using federal funding as leverage against resistant jurisdictions. Immigrant advocates warn that Trump's deportation efforts would be costly, divisive, and inhumane. Trump told NBC News in an interview on Thursday that he would carry out his promise of mass deportations regardless of cost, saying, "It's not a question of a price tag. It's not really. We have no choice." Americans are divided over the possible mechanics of mass deportations, such as whether they might involve detention camps. Some 58% of Republicans in the poll, but only 15% of Democrats agreed with a statement: the immigrants without authorization to be in the country should be arrested and put in detention camps while awaiting deportation hearings. About 75% of Democrats oppose rounding up immigrants in that matter, as did 31% of Republicans. Trump plans to use a 1798 wartime statute known as the Alien Enemies Act to rapidly deport alleged gang members, an action that would almost certainly be challenged in court. The law has been used 3 times according to the Brennan Center for Justice: the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II, when it was employed to justify internment camps for people of Japanese, German, and Italian descent. The Reuters poll, which was conducted online, surveyed 1,471 adults nationwide, and the results had a margin of error of 3 percentage points for all respondents and 5 points for Republicans and Democrats. So shout out to all you guys coming up in here as well, too. Now, Park, I know you wanted to be the first one to go ahead and get it in, so go ahead, Park. Unmute your mic.
What's up, y'all? I'm all for it. I did not vote for Trump. I would have never voted for Trump. But seeing that the overwhelming, I don't want to say overwhelming, but seeing that more than half the country did vote for Trump, he's put out his plan, right? He wants to do the mass deportations. I don't got nothing to do with that. Everybody in my family, my community, have been here for longer than past 100 years, so we're good with that. He talks about the tariffs, do whatever, but the mass deportations, do it. It's so funny. And I'm not gonna talk a whole bunch. I'm gonna listen, but I'm not gonna talk a whole bunch. Today at work, I come in and a guy who is a Brazilian immigrant. He works at my job. He's been here for a while, but he's born in Brazil. Comes up to me and talked about the election before. He said, "Oh, we were gonna vote."
Hey, Park, can we get you up a little bit louder?
Yeah. Is this better?
I really don't hear any difference. You got a headset on anything?
Yeah. Hold on a second.
Yeah, take the head.
Better, right?
It's still about the same, but go ahead. If you got a headset on, just take the headset off so we can hear you louder.
Is this better?
That's better.
Okay. I won't be long. So a guy at my job did vote for Trump, and he knew I was on the other side. So he looks at me. I come in first day of the election, and he says, "The best candidate won." And I said, "Oh, I guess so." And he says, "No, he was the best candidate." I said, "Well, I guess so. Look, bring on the mass deportations." And again, this guy's an immigrant. I know he's from Brazil. And he says, "Oh, he won't do that." I said, "No, I really want him to deport all the illegal immigrants, and I want him to end birthright citizenship." And then he laughed, and then he gets mad at me, actually. He says, "No, they can't do it like that because that would be bad. They should send these people to court." He actually says exactly what Kamala Harris put out her immigration plan to be. I said, "No. These people had signs that said mass deportation, so I am for ripping out all the families and sending them back." And he walked off mad. So I think this is going to be great for all the extremely anti-Black Latinos who voted for Trump because they are anti-Black. I cannot wait to see their families and their cousins and their parents ripped away from them. So I'm happy. Go Trump. I will be buying my MAGA hat soon.
All right. And now, Park, what do you think about the NAACP and their $200 million business fund they're talking about as well, too? You have anything you'd like to add on that?
Can't comment. I mean, I can say some stuff that I think about the NAACP, but at some point, because I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. Well, do you think that this money is going to go to worthy Black businesses, or how do you think it's going to be more of a people of color type thing? What I know you don't. Because I myself really don't know the gist of it either. I don't know how this money is going to be distributed or whatever, but just based off the history of the NAACP.
So I'll comment on this. So there was related to it, not specifically the NAACP, but I'll tie it together real quick. I'll do what Trump does, the weave. I'm a weaver real quick. So there was a couple months ago, there was a Black woman who had a private equity firm who raised up capital and wanted to specifically target other Black entrepreneurs to give out the money to specifically only Black people. People sued her. It went to court, and essentially the courts did rule that they cannot do that. What they did, right? It was specifically for Black people. They could not do that. So, they went back to the drawing board and they figured it out, right? But very similar to, for example, when Trump did the Muslim ban, it was illegal, and he said, okay, then I'll pick specific countries and say it's a ban there. It's essentially the same thing, right? So, look, if it's legal for them to give it to only Black people, then do it 100%, right? But if you're going to go to court for this and you're going to be found to be, liable for breaking the law, then I guess you have to follow the law. So I don't know what the law says for this, but I do remember following the case for the other Black specific private equity firm and the funding there. So I'll see what happens. I'm reading it now. Like I said, I don't know too much about this, but I am going to read it, and maybe towards the end I'll comment on it.
I just want to ask you one more quick question, because I know you've been up and anybody else that wants to speak as well, too, feel free. Let me ask you this one thing also about the business fund that they're talking about. Do you believe that the vast majority of that money for Black business should go to actual Black Americans, descendants of chattel slavery, or do you think it should be sliced up between, the African diaspora, any Black people that may have immigrated to this country as well, too?
NAACP was made to protect black Americans with ancestry from chattel slavery, right? It should go to us as lineage, us as foundational black Americans. But again, is it going to be legal to do that exactly the way it is? Who knows? So the question is, should they break the law? And is anybody going to be their lawyer to help them, through all the court cases? I'm reading now, it says that it's going to impact within communities of color. We all know what that means, right? It's not saying what color, it says all colors. So again, if anyone thinks that it should go only specifically to black, FBA Foundation of Black Americans, then I hope you have a law degree, and I hope you could, do the service and do the law work and provide them service to have them to do it only for black people. Because if you don't, they can't do it. It's a law. So, we'll see what happens.
All right, appreciate that, Park. I always thought you were actually a Democrat as well too, because when you come up in the spaces, a lot of time you do use a lot of Democrat talking points. So I just assumed naturally that you and I thought for certain that you would have voted for Kamala Harris as well too. So
I am a Democrat. I did vote for Kamala Harris. She lost.
No, okay.
But look, if you look at my profile now, I'm all for it. Look, I want two things to happen so bad. I saw a story today about the tariffs too. I want the mass deportations to, number one, send them all back, and number two, to completely destroy the economy, because they will. And I want the tariffs to raise the prices continuously to make all the people who decided to vote for this guy have to spend more money. And I want it to also destroy the economy too. If you're looking at what's going on with the stock market, and every analyst that I've listened to, whether it be on the calls that I've been in, whether it be on just the public TV, they're all saying that this thing is going to be disastrous. So I want it all to just break the economy. I'm all for it. People voted for it. If the majority of the country voted for this guy to destroy the economy, bring it on. I'm ready for it.
Oh, okay. So now I get it. Okay. So you want to see the country fail because the person that you wanted to actually be president of the United States actually hold on, because I didn't cut you off. You want the country to actually fail because the person you wanted to be president of the United States didn't actually win. So you're hoping that, hey, basically let it go to hell in the handbasket, and I'll show you, and then you'll come back begging to me in 4 more years. So I get what you're saying. Now you're saying that also by mass deportation of because you're saying Latino. So it sounds like he kind of saying that you want mass deportation to happen, but mainly just for the Latinos, no other group, just because the Latinos you felt didn't come through and secure the vote for Kamala Harris, is what you're saying? Just a Latino. You don't want like the Asians to be mass deported. You don't want anybody from the African diaspora, but just the Latinos. Am I correct on that?
I want all illegal immigrants to be back. I want to end the birth certificate. Here's my thing. Trump has a mandate, okay? The people, he came out with his policies. He came out for tariffs and mass deportations. The economists, the analysts, the smart people, the experts put out their reports on it. That was publicly available for every American voter to read it. I did my reading. I looked at the policies, and I voted based on the policies. Everybody had the chance to vote based on the policies. Do you want this plan, or do you want that economic plan? He now has a mandate from the American people, the will of the people in our democratic republic, to go ahead and do his mandate, whether it be good or bad. So I want him now to take the mantle of the mandate that the American people have given him and to follow out with his plans. It's important that we elect a president that says and does what he says and says what he means. So do what you mean, Donald Trump. I want you to take on your mandate. I want you to send every single illegal immigrant back. I want you to end birthright citizenship. Which will destroy the economy. And I also want you to do the tariffs on things from other places, which also will destroy the economy because of the interest of the American people who have given this man a mandate. I want you to make sure that we now have a president who does what they do, because it's important to have a president who does what they say.
Okay, so you're saying that if they do mass deportation, and that's gonna sink the American economy, is what you're saying.
It's not what I'm saying. It's what.
But I'm saying it's what you believe. It's what you believe.
It's not what I believe. They've done the math. We all know that. For example, take a look at the industrials industry. housing, whatever it could be, right? We all know that low-skilled labor, which is a big part of our economy, 70% of home construction is made up of undocumented people.
Now, at one time, black men themselves made up and they also said too, from the actual immigration center as well too, and even Kamala Harris' father, because we had a space on that pen, an article about that, and it's been said numerous times that mass immigration hurts the black male unskilled labor market more than any other group in this country.
He wrote that.
No. I'm saying he wrote that. I'm saying, but the actual they've had like you're saying, they've had studies on that before as well too. The immigration center as well, and we've had a space on that where we actually cited this information a couple years ago that mass immigration hurts the actual native-born population of the country, and it hurts black males more than any other group in this country.
There's no secret about it. That's why he said it's hurting the black job. That's what everyone knew what he was talking about, right? We all knew. J.D. Vance has talked about this. Bernie Sanders has talked about how it hurts, American workers, specifically black and brown. I'm going to use his language, black and brown workers.
No. It doesn't hurt black and brown because no. I want to be clear on this. I want to be perfectly clear on this. The immigration center and those stats and all these other stats that backed it up, they didn't mention brown. They said black. They said that it hurts the unskilled black labor market, the black male unskilled labor market more than any other group in this country. They didn't say the unskilled brown, the unskilled yellow, or the unskilled red. They didn't say the black, the red, the yellow, and all this combination. They said to be perfectly clear, and I'm not making this up. They said black.
That's fine. Look, Bernie Sanders is wrong. I'm not wrong. Bernie Sanders is wrong for saying that. I'm not saying black brown.
Well, yeah, if Bernie Sanders said brown, and yeah, he is wrong. Yeah, he is.
He can be wrong. That's fine. My point is this: is that bring it on. Bring it on. Let's do it. Let's do it. If you want to do it, he has a mandate. The people voted for this. The plan was out there. This was not a secret plan. It's not like nobody knew about it. We've been talking on this for a while. The people voted for it. So let's do it. Every economist, every financial expert, the market is reacting to all this. I just sat in a call today with my own bank, and they said, you know what they said? I'm going to quote what they said. Do not take him figuratively. Take him literally. He did an interview with NBC today. He said that we're going to do it regardless of the price tag. And I think that's a quote as well.
Yeah, I just read that article. Yeah.
Exactly. So everybody knows that this thing is not going to be easy for us as Americans. This is going to destroy the American economy. And if that's what the American people voted for, then bring it on, because he has now a mandate to do what the American people elected him to do. If I vote for Kamala Harris, I want her to do exactly what I vote for her to do. So the American people have voted for him to do his economic plans, the tariffs and the mass deportations, which will destroy the economy. I'm saying now, bring it on. I'm ready for it. I'll be okay. Will other people who vote for him be okay? I don't know. I hope so. But you know what? Bring it on. This is what people wanted, so let's bring it on. I'm excited to watch.
Okay, and I'm going to add this part here now. Before mass immigration, okay, what year would you say that? When would you say that it really ticked up in this country in terms of the mass immigration coming into the United States? When would you say that?
I would say mass immigration. What, the 1970s?
So we'll say from the 70s and the 90s, and when you probably all the way from the 70s to the 90s when you had this mass boom, right? Okay, so from the 70s and the 90s. Let me just ask you, and before, because, so mass immigration started to pour really in from the 70s to the 90s. So during this time and before that time, what was the U.S.'s rank in terms of the economy, in terms of their global rank, in terms of economics and everything in the world? Where were they ranked at before you started to have this mass boom of immigration?
It was number one.
Oh, okay. So basically you're saying that even before, during, and after, the United States has been had the number one economy. So the United States found a way to survive before you actually had this mass influx of illegal immigrants coming to the country, is what you're saying, right?
Of course.
Oh, okay. So it's not out the realm of possibility that even because I don't believe that they're talking about 11 million people. I don't believe I don't believe that he's going to be able to deport 11 million people. If he was able to deport 3-4 million people during this time, that would be a lot. And I think that's about I think that's the most he's going to get. But let's say somehow he was able to deport, half of what he said or whatever, or close to it, or whatever. I still don't think that the United States is going to fall off the face of the earth. Because you know why I don't think this? Because they have something that most of these other countries don't have. They have the U.S. military. And for as much as people talk about this and that or whatever, the U.S. military is the one that backs that U.S. dollar. You talk about the de facto dollar of the entire world, basically. Yeah, I know we got the BRICS and everything else coming as well, too, but it ain't that easy to really collect on those debts. And we're talking about a global economy where everything is tied together as well, too. So, here we say that if the United States economy fails and falls into the ocean, well, you know how many other economies that are actually connected and tied to the U.S. economy? China, a whole bunch of European nations, Asian nations as well. I mean, all around the world. Well, guess what? We may be looking at a repeat of the Great Depression, except it's going to be global. So if the U.S. economy tanks and falls completely off, and how you hoping that you like, well, yeah, God, please, fire and brimstone, teach these magpies and this poor white trash for downing our goddess Kamala Harris or whatever. Well, I think that you're going to see a whole bunch of other nations worldwide, their economy, their currency, everything else is going to, go to the crapper as well too. And I think that we had, like I said, I think we had life and we were thriving, because it's a reason why people risk life and limb to get over to this country. And this country was thriving before they got here. The country was thriving after they got here during the time they was here. So I think the country will find a way to actually still make it. That's just my personal opinion. Now, economists can say what they want to say. We'll have to just kind of see how things go. But like I say, I don't personally believe that he's going to be able to get 11 million people out. Because for one, the economy and a lot of these big businesses and stuff like that, they themselves are going to fight it tooth and nail as well too. Even some of these same people that are Republicans that own these businesses and Democrats as well too, they're going to fight it tooth and nail because they're going to like, look, we got this cheap labor and we paying under the table and we making this money and this and that or whatever. It's a reason why they start outsourcing all these jobs in the late 60s and the 70s and the 80s overseas as well too, because they didn't want to pay they didn't want to really pay the American citizens the actual salaries that they actually deserved as well too. And especially up there in the Midwest where you had the auto industry, where you had a lot of black people that had 4 or 5 generations and started becoming middle class and buying homes and making good livings and stuff. They're like, well, hell, why pay these Negroes this when we can just take it overseas and pay them, a fraction of what we paying here?
Capitalism. Look, I'll say this. I think this is the best way to describe it. If y'all are looking at my name, it's Park Ave Loafers. Just reading this Park Ave is where I do my work. I'm looking at a hotel right now, one of the most famous hotels in New York City, the Waldorf Astoria. It's been closed since 2017, right? Why is it closed? Because they're doing a major revamp. Prior to 2017, this hotel brought in millions upon millions of dollars, okay? They've been now, because of the fact that they wanted to make a change on the infrastructure, they have to now close the hotel completely, which cut off the other millions of dollars that are brought in from the income, okay? It's been closed now for over the past 6 years almost now, and they've lost millions of dollars for it to be closed for one purpose and one purpose only, to rebuild it like it's never been seen before, okay? So it's closed right now because they have to make the repairs on all the rooms, on the outside, everything. I'm looking at it right now. They're working on it right now, but it's closed. But when it opens back up, it will do better. The millions will come back. But my point is this. Just like the Waldorf Astoria was open before 2017, the country did it, right? The country was fine before the 70s. But at a time, they said, let's change it. Okay, so now we live in a country that is using illegal immigration, right? 20% in this sector, 20% in that sector, 30% in this industry, whatever. So now if you take that 20, 30, and 10% of all these industries down, or if you say, you know what, I'm going to revamp this hotel, you're going to lose money from doing that because you are now taking a part of an economy, of a resource that's no longer working. So it will take 20, 30, 40 years in order for the country to finally be able to recover from the, I'm going to use the word revamp of the country based upon the labor workforce. Just like this hotel has been closed down for and it's lost millions of dollars, the country is going to be closed in labor forces, in labor areas, and we're going to lose money. That's just how it works. If you have something and you take it away that's giving you money and you have to rebuild and find another source to make the money, you are going to lose money in the process. That's just basic economy. I'm looking at it right now, this hotel. It's a beautiful hotel. It's been around for longer than anybody has called. But you know what else? It's closed right now. It's been closed since 2017 because they're trying to repair it. And not until they repair it is when they'll make money. They've made no money so far. It will not make money until they reopen it and put the rooms that are empty back with people inside of it. If you take the people who are working in the farms, in construction, in maintenance,
doing all the jobs that Black Americans used to do, but go ahead.
Right, but it will take time to recover. Is my point. It will not happen in a snap of a finger. For example, let's go back to the time machine. I'm looking at a chart right now. It's the production and the wages, right? We said 1970 was the time where they started bringing immigration, right? If you take a look at where the production in the country went, and if you took a look at the wages from, after World War II, they were on par with each other. There was never a time after World War II where the production and wages did not match the growth. After the 70s, when you saw the importation of undocumented people, illegal immigrants, you saw that the productivity continued to rise, but the wages did not continue to rise. So, we can talk about why they brought them in or whatever else. It's just pure capitalism. But like I said before, the economists put out their plan. They hire smart people. They pay them big bucks to tell the people which plan will do what and what plan will do, that, right? They did it for Harris's plan. They did it for Trump's plan. I don't want to see, a bad economy. I don't want to see nothing bad economically happen.
You just said you wanted to sink. You just said it.
Let me finish. I made my vote based upon the plans. I saw both plans and I made my vote. But seeing now that the American people gave this guy a mandate that was publicly available to everybody.
Hold on, Professor. Hold on. Mute your mic, Professor. Go ahead. He's about to finish up. Hold on. Wait a minute. Go ahead.
The American people gave this guy a mandate. The plans were out there. Everybody should know that this thing is not going to take overnight, right? It's not going to get snap of a finger. Country to be able to bounce back from the economic disaster that will come from doing both of his plans, tariffs and the mass deportations. So if that's what they voted for, I vote for one thing. I want to see it happen, but the American people, over half the country voted for this. So in the interest of the American people, do what you have to do, Donald, and make the people proud because they voted for you in there. I don't think that anybody should be elected to become president, and they should not do what they we're telling people that they were going to do. So do what you're going to do. I cannot wait to see it, and I'm going to land my plane right there.
Okay, and real quick, Park, before you leave, I just want to say tonight when you go to sleep, you make sure that you get you a nice pillow to put underneath your tushy because you are severely butthurt, my friend. You willing to see because your candidate couldn't win. You want to see the whole damn country go down. So you make sure tonight you get you some Vaseline. Hold on. You oil down your hiney. You get you a nice little blanket, your little Snoopy and Linus blanket. Get you a little bit of red wine to drink. Go lay in a nice bubble bath, and make sure you put some Epsom salt in there because you were severely butthurt, my friend. So you have an enchanting evening, okay, Park? We'll get back to you, but we're gonna let some of the other speakers in the room get up here and say what they got to. And let me give a shout out to my girl Francisca for her donation on Cash App. But buddy, you willing to say, hey, the hell with it? That's some white man stuff right there. I'll be damned if I let a nigger take it over. I'll blow up the whole planet. You on something like that right there. So you take like I said, you oil up a little bit tonight, my friend, because you make sure you oil your hiney down and don't sleep on your back. Don't sleep on your back. Sleep on your stomach tonight, because your behind is severely hurt. It'll be all right though. Everybody loses elections and stuff. A bunch of people we vote for lose and stuff like that, but we able to go on. So you'll be all right. I am. I'm not. I know, and I know realistically, it's not going to happen. I know they're not going to get 11 million people out of here. I know they're not. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, I think you listen. You got the whole. Oh, wait. You got to mute the mic. You got to mute the mic. You got to mute the mic. You got to mute up. You got to mute up. Because I'm finna get ready to go to other speakers because we got other people waiting. So yeah, you just can't continue to allow tens of hundreds of thousands of people every month and throughout the year just pour into the actual country as well too. We seen, while you're talking about the economy, we seen how these even some of the most liberal cities and states up here talking about, well, you know, we're out of funds and we can't support it and we can't do this and we can't do that. At the years of saying, yeah, you know what, we support this, let them all come and this and that or whatever. Even they start saying up there in Chicago and New York and these other areas up there for years that, you know, went ahead and supported, like, hey, you know what, we're running out of resources. We can't take care of our own people. You got damn schools and stuff being converted into basically shelters and everything else. You got people sleeping at police departments. I mean, come on. You got people, we talk about affordable housing. You got people being put up, and I did a space on that, with people being put up in $700 a night hotel rooms when the average person can't even damn hardly afford to find a place out here. So yeah, I think something should be done. Yeah, I really do. Yeah, bro, stop. I hear the hate in your voice. You upset. You part of the K Hive. You upset. You pissed off, and you let it be known as well too. You talk about the tariffs. You talk about the economists and everything. You talking about the mass deportation. You talking about you want to see it sink. You want to see it sink so everybody can come groveling back and vote for your candidate the next time. So come on, let's stop. Come on, I can read between the lines. A blind man who reads blind can see what you're talking about. So come on now, let's stop it. But on that note, Park, I appreciate you coming up here. Let me go ahead and get to the other speakers. Let me get to my co-host, because he's been waiting patiently. Let me go ahead and get to him. Professor, don't start going off. Just go ahead and speak. But you ain't got to curse. But go ahead, Professor. You got it.
Yeah, man. I tried to hold on as long as I could. And I apologize for jumping in earlier. Penny Loafer, man, you kill me. I'm just going to tell you, the way you talk is you are totally against your own people. You know immigrants hurt our people more so than anybody. This whole immigration thing was against our people. And you sit up here, you caping for these people to be in this country, and they are illegal and they're taking resources from your people. And you're sitting up here now lying, talking about you voted on policies. You did not do that. When you came up in the previous spaces, you spoke on Kamala. You was all about Kamala to the point I thought you wanted the data. That's how much you was talking about. And let me tell you something. So you didn't go for policy. You went for Kamala. You love Kamala. That's all you spoke about is Kamala. Okay? Now, let's just put it out here. Black Americans are the foundation of this country. And I want you to understand that these immigrants and any other group, whatever they want to call themselves, that's coming up in here, don't belong here. And they're taking resources from the group that is the non-immigrant group. That's us. We the only group that can claim it. The economy in previous years, before all this floodgate of immigrants come up here, was booming just fine with Black Americans working those same jobs. You sitting up here telling us that these immigrants are doing the best job. Man, get out of here with that, man. I'm tired of hearing you and other people like you speak down on your people. Like, we have not built the foundation of this country with the farms, with the construction jobs, whatever job has been out there, labor, whatever type of job. We have always been in there, man. But what we have always demanded as time went on is our fair share of the piece of the pie, and that is we supposed to get paid more. Now, there's nothing wrong with us asking for more money, because guess what? We are natives of the land. and we deserve it. Our ancestors are the reason why we deserve it, because they died in this country that treated them like shit. Excuse my French. But you got to stop coming up in these spaces trying to cape for some brown ricers and whatever else they call themselves, African diaspora, whatever. I don't care. I just want them all up out of here. And that's how I feel about it. You're talking about how the economy is going to tank, but look how the economy right now is suffering with all of the immigration, with inflation. You're not even talking about the inflation due to all this floodgate immigration. So there you go. I broke a rhyme down for you. Now I'm going to land right there.
All right. Appreciate that, Professor. Let me go ahead and get to Quadir. Quadir, is he still up here? Quadir, go ahead. You got it. How you doing tonight?
Hey, yo, what's good? What's good? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Hear me loud and clear, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, I'm in the gym right now. I didn't plan on coming up and speak, but the guy who was speaking before, he just said a lot of fallacies that I just had to come up and address. Before he even mentioned that he was from the New York, New Jersey area, just off the way he was speaking, I knew he was from this area. I want everyone to use this as a case study as to how a lot of these so-called black people in this area think, right? Everything that he's saying, he truly believes everything that's coming out his mouth. And notice, and I also want you guys to notice how he was talking to us, how he was saying that the smart people says this, how the smart people says that, right? Which is, he was condescending and calling us stupid, okay? He is the type of dude, like I've heard people speak like him a million times. He's the type of dude who probably wants a white Hispanic baby mama, probably has one, or he's dying to get one, or anything that's white adjacent. I'm being dead serious. Two, he said a bunch of bull crap about illegals being deported and it'll mess up the economy. One, Trump already did that his first term and nothing happened. We are all still here. Two, when that happened, we had a lot of FBAs getting jobs immediately. There was an article in Chicago under Trump's first term where he deported a lot of illegal immigrants, where the black natives in that area got those jobs. The same thing with that chicken factory down in the South. I forgot which state it is, but I know you guys remember it. So
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you remember that. So yeah, I came up to say a couple of those things. This guy is he definitely wants some Latin cooch, and that's the beginning and end of it. I'm gonna yield there.
All right. Thank you, Quadir. Thank you, guys. Share out the room tonight. Share out the room. Let me go ahead and get to Marcel. Marcel, what's going on with you tonight? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
So, Professor and King kind of said a lot of what I wanted to say. I get really sick and tired of this whole, this mass deportation is going to tank the economy argument. It's a bad faith argument. It's something that's said by illegal immigrant, mass immigration, invasion sympathizers. People who would rather see this country flooded with illegals than stand up and fight for this country to pay the people whom they still owe the most to. And that's freedmen, the black Americans who are descendants of the emancipated. We are the people who have kept this country afloat, not no goddamn illegal immigrants. First of all, like Professor said, we have all these illegals flooding our country right now, and the economy is in the goddamn toilet. When the economy crashed underneath George Bush Jr., we were flooded with illegals. And you know what they started doing? They started going back home. All right? When the economy crashed during the dot-com bubble burst of the early 2000s, you can find articles then showing the illegals started going back home. And when the recession started getting worse under Obama, it started under Bush, but it started getting worse under Obama before they did all those congressional acts. The illegals started going back home. So stop acting like these illegals are what keeps our economy moving. because our economy has fallen many, many, many times while the illegals have been here. And the first thing the illegals do is go to hell back home. So we're simply telling them, go to hell back home because you have the right to be here in the first place. That's first of all. Second of all, the reason the economy is so depressed is because of the high rates of legal and illegal immigration. Coretta Scott King in the 1990s wrote a letter to Congress saying that allowing a large number of immigrants, she didn't specify legal, she didn't specify illegal. She just said immigrants, period, will bring down the wages of Americans. Coretta Scott King was right, because that's exactly what a high level of immigration does. It depresses the wages of American citizens, because immigrants, and this is factual, are more likely to work for less. So because they're more likely to work for less, employers are more likely to offer less. You know who else said that? Barbara Jordan said that, another foundational Black American woman. And because immigrants take lower wages, everyone gets paid lower wages. However, in contrast, when America put a ban on immigration from pretty much all over the world, from the 1920s to almost the 1960s, because of fear of foreign countries, because the world wars were starting, the wages of Black Americans, men especially, rose quicker than ever before. They even increased more than white men. That's not saying we have as much wealth as white men, but our wages increased far faster than theirs. So actually, historical data shows when you put the illegals out, the economy for us actually gets better. And what economic data shows is when you have an economy that works better for the employee than the employer, that the country tends to do better because the employees get more money and they put more money back into the economy. These illegals and legal immigrants are sending tens of billions of dollars, possibly hundreds of billions of dollars, back to their native countries. That's money that could go here. And as King already brought out, King, that chicken factory was in Mississippi. The one that happened in Chicago in the state of Illinois, that was a bakery. But we also have examples in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, where underneath Obama and underneath Trump, these factories were raided, and the next day, Black Americans were there doing those jobs and doing a damn better job. Right here in South Carolina, there has been constant article after article after article about the poor quality of these new homes being built. And you know you cannot find a single freeman on these construction sites. You can barely find a white man on these construction sites. It's all immigrants, and most of them are illegal. And the new homes being built are crap. So these illegal immigrants don't keep our economy afloat. They are crashing our economy. And you know who else is crashing our economy? The corporations that hire them. And you know who else is crashing our economy? The politicians who see it and allow it. And I'm not saying that Trump is going to go far enough for me, because he does not. But I bet he can go far, far, far further than what that Indian woman would have gone, and all these Democrats would have gone, and all these mass immigration-loving Republicans would have gone. And you know why I know? Because he did it the first time he was in office. I wish people would just come out and say, you just want this country to be invaded by illegals. That would be a lot more genuine argument than trying to come up with all these BS reasons about why it won't work.
Yes, sir. No. You can't skip over. No. You got to mute your mic, man. You went for me, and you had a nice discussion. Started off. You can't sit up here. We got other people that want to speak as well too. So you got Mel, then we got Aunt Lai. She dipped down. I guess Aunt Lai, because she was giving the thumbs down. So I guess Aunt Lai decided that she wasn't gonna come up here and speak. But we got Mel, and we got Brother Moku. Ellis, if you want to speak, put your hand up here as well too. Then I got Mel, I got Brother Moku, and I got you, Park. So we'll get back to you, but no, we got to go ahead and let some other people speak as well too. It ain't the Park Show; it's the Newstoter broadcast / Twitter space. So we'll get back to you on that, bro. We got you. Don't worry about it. I know you're gonna be up here. You're gonna defend your girl. We know that. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. She got wailed on, and I predicted it months ago. And y'all know I told you she was going to get wailed on, and I told you that was going to be black men. They were going to be blaming all of this. I said months in advance. So this ain't nothing new right here. I told you as well too. She was going to get wailed on, and she got welled on. So I mean, you coming in here, you take your medicine like a man. So nothing wrong with that, bro. Let me go ahead and get to my girl, Mel. Mel, how you doing today?
All right, I think I heard you say my name. Trusted news from a trust Newstoter, Newstoter.com. Shout out to the room, shout out to the space. So although the things that Park was saying was very interesting, facetious. So Park, go ahead and take Toter's advice. Get you some oil for that honey this evening. But I'm glad to have heard your perspective, because you're not just one person. I'm sure there are so many people in America who share your sentiment, and so I'm glad to hear it out in the atmosphere. So it's something we know we can deal with. The one thing, for those of y'all that know me, I'm not a Trump supporter, and I'm not. Let me use Marcel's phrase. I'm not an Indian woman supporter either. But one thing for certain is when Trump did take office the first time, I mean, he immediately got to work with the deportation activity. There was no secret about how serious he was about getting them folks up out of here. And it'll be great to see if he's able to do it again this time. Because they all need to get on up out of here, for real. My concern is, and I did put it in the Jumbotron, my concern is if Trump is going to make any changes to the Constitution in terms of who can run for president. Because I put it in the Jumbotron where they're trying to set Barron up like he's this, high achieving, high intellect. The comments on the article that I put in there, or on the post I put in there, was like, oh, he's a genius, oh, he's brilliant, oh, this and that. So with them speaking so freely about, their desire to change the Constitution, they're telling us one thing, but are they going to sidewind and change it to where you as long as you're a president's son, you can run for president, because Barron's only 18, 19 years old, so they're going to change that law. Or are they going to allow him to hold an office? So those are the things, to me, that I think we should be looking out for. And I spoke in another space earlier about this.
Wait, you said looking out for Barron becoming what?
Well, what I'm saying is that there's been a lot of discussion about changing the Constitution. Now, they haven't been while they're talking about, the birthright.
Who's been discussing this? The Trump team?
Hold on 1 second, Ellis. Let her go ahead and then we'll get to YouTube. But go ahead and let her, and because I don't want people to lose their train of thought. So go ahead, Mel. And you're saying something about Barron, but go ahead, Mel.
Okay, so what I was trying to say was, for those that know, there has been discussion before the election. There was discussion about changing the Constitution with the birthright citizenship, blah blah blah. And so my point is that when we talk about and confidently talking about the making changes to the Constitution, just on that particular topic. So my
Mel, you keep going in and out, but go ahead.
Damn, I don't know what the problem is. I'm sitting stationary. Anyway, I'll say this. I hope I can be heard right here. I hope Trump does the cleanup on these migrants. Get them up out of here. They need to go. We need to be watching to see this modification of the Constitution. Just how far they're going to go with it, because I think they're going to try to segue Barron in here some type of way. And if they're talking about changing the Constitution, what type of changes are they going to make that this country is not going to look like this country anymore? So with that, I'll end. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, man. I got it with the Barron thing. Now, I'm not sure. Like you say, Barron's 18. If I'm not mistaken, was Barron on the spectrum as well, too? I'm not sure. I don't want to.
Yeah, I think he is on the spectrum.
Oh,
he is 18.
Yeah.
And the thing is that in what I posted in the Jumbotron there, in the comments are saying, yeah, Trump's trying to set it up for a dynasty. And is that part of, when they talk.
I don't. Listen. We still.
They're going to try to modify so that they
we
set it up in a dynasty form or not. That's all I'm saying is that's something we need to be.
But we got to remember now. We still got checks and balances and everything else. I mean, Trump, for everybody. I know they talk about Trump, and I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Kamala. I did a write-in myself, but we got to remember too. Like, Trump is not the king of America. He's not the emperor of the United States of America. I mean, you still got a Senate, a House. I mean, there's checks and balances and stuff like this. So I don't know what everybody's thinking is like. I mean, even people in Trump's own party would check him out, like, look here, you're not going to do all this and that or whatever. And ain't nobody 18 or 19 or 20 or 25 going to be the president of the United States, period. So, and then not only that, not to make fun, but like I say, Barron is on the spectrum as well too. So I highly, highly, highly doubt that or whatever. He can set it up. Now I can see if you say maybe Donald Trump Jr. or something like that, maybe, but there's no way. And anytime soon, Barron's going to be in politics or up in the White House, anything like that too. So we got to remember that, hey, there's still checks and balances and everything associated with this as well too.
Well, I'll say this and then I'll land for sure. I know, but they're trying to, even now they're trying to assign some credibility to him in terms of, he's a very strategic thinker, and look at what he knew how to do. All the stuff, all the positive things they said about Trump weren't true, but the people just wanted to believe it, so they ran with it. Like, he's the second coming, he's the Messiah, it's not about what's really true, it's about what the people want to believe. So I just think that we should just keep our eyes open to see if they're going to try to pull that type of whammy. That's pretty much all I was saying. But thank you, Toto. Thanks for letting me speak.
No problem, Mel. And I'm going to say for anybody that can support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, $Newstoter, Newstoter. Got the PayPal and Venmo up in the Jumbotron. Black-owned, Black American-owned news media curation platform. We also have a membership for anybody that wants to join and support us monthly for as little as $1.75. Same for my people on YouTube. The customer link is on the actual screen, and all of the stuff is up in the description as well too. Once again, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Let me give a shout out to Junis for his contribution on Cash App. Let me go ahead and get to like I say, Aunt Lai, she booked on me. She was giving me the thumbs down and whatnot, but Aunt Lai booked. So let me go ahead and get to Brother Moku Ellis. If you want to speak to, just go ahead and put your hand up. Like I say, I'm going to get you up in here as well too. Go ahead, Moku, you got it.
Okay. Thank you, Newstoter, for letting me speak. Everybody else in the room for their BGQs. Definitely well needed. First, I want to say shout out to the Redemption Party. Shout out to Larisha Barnes for governor of New Jersey, running on the Redemption Party ticket. Shout out to Marcel, the only candidate that's not on the Redemption Party that I support. So I just wanted to get those shots out and say this. A lot of people, I don't think we realize when we should recognize a good situation. I'm really looking at this with a real keen eye because I heard almost everybody in the space at one point in time say that we are in a really, really peculiar place in history that we have never been before. And I urge people now, I could be wrong, but I urge people to pay attention that I think something that Marcel said that was real profound. A lot of things are different now, and a lot of things really don't pertain to us right now because according to the census and according to this government of racism, white supremacy, we Black Americans really are not classified as anything right now. So I think this is a time where we can get a lot of stuff done. Simply, off of that and the other combined things that make up our situation as far as what we're classified as and what pertains to us and what doesn't pertain to us. I truly think that everybody needs to carry or a copy of the Constitution around with you. You should definitely be very, very, very familiar with it if you're not. And then don't be ashamed if you're not, because look, that's done on purpose. But I was even trying to get up with my brother Counter Racism to try to make a pocket size, like a pocket size card, and we're still trying to fit all of the Constitution and trying to see how we can fit all of that on one or two cards that the victims of racism, white supremacy can carry around with them. Because one thing that Mel said, they're going to be doing amendments to this Constitution. They're going to be trying to change things. And we need to understand and know what they're going to be changing, what they're trying to change before they change it, so we can effectively counter it and change what actually needs to be changed. And I think all of us know a few things right off the bat that need to be changed, as far as 3/5 human being stuff and you know, a lot of other things, a lot of other flaws that's in this Constitution. So with that being said, and look, this is a time of multitasking, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be able to no longer do one thing at a time. We're going to have to master being strategic, but not even just strategic, but being very, very meticulous and multitasking. And the things that we're multitasking, we're going to have to really be sharp on them. And the reason why, and I suggest this, and this is just a suggestion, but at this time, I really think while we're doing all this other work, we need to be setting a class action suit in place against Obama, against Michelle, against Kamala for defamation of character and attempted murder on black men specifically. And that's for all. I mean, because they definitely, I feel like, as far as the collaborators of white supremacy go, they put us in a really, really dangerous position. We are still in a dangerous position now, and this is no one running scared. But I'm just like I always say, I'm in these streets, I'm in these malls, and guess what? Since Trump got elected, these malls are empty. I don't see nobody popping no tags no more. I don't see them EBT balances no more. I ain't see nobody in here with no bag, especially after he got elected. And they was running scared the day before. So I'm just saying, you know, while all this stuff is going on and while all this reforming is going on, we need to reform some stuff we need to reform a lot of things about our status and our situation right now going forward. You know what I'm saying? So again, shout out to everybody being more serious, being more codified, and paying attention to y'all words. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see that everybody's paying attention to the words that they're using now. We're not using these terms that white supremacy has been throwing at us and kind of narrating us to use their language. Now we're using our own language, and I applaud everybody for that. And shout out to everybody in the space. I'm gonna come off my mic again, but I'm gonna go down to the rest of my mic.
All right, appreciate that, Moku. Appreciate that. Let me give a shout out also to Perry for his contribution on Cash App. Park is your goat, and Marcel and no taxation. So Park, go ahead, you got it. And real quick, Park, before you go, guys, I got the Newstoter YouTube channel up in the Jumbotron on the far left-hand side. If you have not subscribed, while the space is going on right now, you can go over there and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us grow as well. Like I say, the largest Black-owned, Black American curation platform, media platform in the America. So go ahead. You got it, Park. Go ahead.
Took some notes. I just wanted to, and I also dropped in the Jumbotron where Elon Musk, who will be a big part of the Trump administration, whether it be official or not, he also is acknowledging what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is not like a Democrat talking plot or anything like that. I'm just saying what the truth is, right? I'm all, like I said before, like I live in New York City. I live right next to one of them hotels. I hate seeing them out there, it's disgusting. It's terrible. It's bad for the economy. It's bad for the safety of the city, and it's just not good. So, like I said before, I'm for it. I just hope people understand the cost and the initial reaction of it happening. When it comes to the deportations, I think we all remember that Obama got a famous name for the deporter in chief. When President Obama was the president, he deported more people than Donald Trump did. Hope we all can understand that, right? Like there were more deportations under Obama than there were under Donald Trump, right? There were 5 million who were deported under Obama, right? There was less than clearly less than 5 million under Trump. I think it was actually not even 1 million. It could have been a million. I'm not sure, but it was less than 5 million. My point being is that yes, presidents have gone through and they have deported people. Donald Trump has 4 years, I hope, of being in the White House. If his goal is to get 10 million people in 4 years, that's not going to be 10 million people in a span of 8 years, like Bush did, right? That's 10 million people in 4 years. That will have an economic reaction, whether we want to accept it or not. But people voted for it. My second thing I want to say is that, this idea that someone was mentioning Barron Trump, curious about him following it. At the end of the day, I think it's very naive for all of us to just assume that, nothing can happen to us. We're Americans. We have checks and balances. We're going to be fine. They're not going to do, no. Anything can happen to us. It's happened to other empires. There's been countries and empires that have lasted for hundreds and longer than that, and they fell at the end of the day because things got out of control. I don't think that anybody in the 1940s in Germany could have ever imagined what happened there. I don't think that anybody in Soviet Russia in the 1980s could have ever imagined 10 years later it would have collapsed. I don't think anybody in the 1920s in China ever could have thought that the communists would have taken over, but they did. So the idea that certain things can't happen here because we're so great and powerful, we're America, is just foolish. He has the complete control of all the branches of the government, and the Supreme Court has just allowed the president to do whatever they want, to be immune from any type of jurisdiction. I'm not trying to sound like a fear monger, but I'm just saying anything can happen. It would be foolish for me to say, you know what? He won't do that. No, you know what? He says what he does, and I'm going to quote again what I've been hearing from the other analysts say. Take him literally. Stop taking him figuratively. This guy, and I believe this because of white supremacy, whenever he says these crazy things, everybody just says, oh, he doesn't mean it. It's okay. But when somebody else of color when somebody else black says things, oh, he's serious. Oh my goodness, how could you ever say that? But when he says bad things, don't take him seriously. He doesn't mean that. No, let's take him seriously. And we've allowed white supremacy to allow this guy to be able to say anything and get away with it because he's not being serious. And I think that's just going to be a great disservice to all of us. So, look, like I said before, I live in New York City. I deal with it every single day. I see it every single day on my way to work. I see it on my way back from work going home. Do it. That's what the people voted for. But elections have consequences. Policies have consequences. Laws that are enforced have consequences. It only takes 3 departments. It takes ICE, the Department of Justice, and the Department of Defense to do this mass deportation. He has the power to do it. There's not going to be any type of Supreme Court. No one's going to stop him in the Congress or the Supreme Court. He's going to do it. So if he does it, as we're seeing right now, people are reacting to it. Take a look at the 10-year yield. The Treasury bonds issued by the United States government, they have risen. Why are the 10-year bonds right now at almost 4.5? They were not at 4.5 prior to the election. They were way lower than that because people with billions and trillions of dollars and millions of dollars have assessed his plan, and they have prepared properly for his plan because they are taking him at his word. If he does these things, the bonds that they hold are going to be worthless, so they are selling them, and it's a reaction that I'm seeing in the market. So again, I'm all for it, but I think it's just a disservice to all of us to say that this thing is going to be great and no one's going to be affected by it, because even by Elon Musk, who is going to be helping him do this, if you take a look at what he says and take a look at what he's acknowledging, he is saying that there's going to be an initial reaction to what goes on that will hurt the American people. So, know what? Illegal immigration has hurt black people, and it has hurt the American people. And, I don't know what the solution is, but if this is the solution that the American people voted for, let's do it. I just hope that everybody understands that everything has a consequence, and we are not too special for things not to happen here because we're American.
Christ almighty. Hold on real quick. Hold on, Professor. Hold on. Did you hear what you just said, man? I mean, this is boogeyman stuff here. So let me get this straight. America's never had a bald president. They've never had a man that had a bald head be president in modern time. Never had a man with a bald head be president. Never had a fat president. Since the fat dude with Taft or whoever it was, had a fat president in modern time. But yeah, we're going to put somebody up there that's autistic and put him up there and have him as president. And like I say, people keep sitting up here. There are people within the Republican Party that didn't support Trump and didn't like Trump and didn't want Trump to be up there. So they just going to sit back there while Trump just runs roughshod over everything in America. Like I say, damn checks and balances be damned. And he just do exactly what he wants to do. I mean, come on, man. This is fear mongering. This is boogeyman tactics. This is sour grapes. It's all of that stuff combined. Like there's no way. Like I said, you've never had any of these, but yeah, we're gonna put somebody out there with autism. And I say this as a father with a child with autism. We're gonna sit up there and we're gonna put them up there in the highest position and let them, and we're gonna use nepotism and put them up there. And all of the Republicans, the ones that's even now that's with Trump or whatever, still can't stand his guts, still don't like him, still thought they was looking for other people to replace him and everything else. They just gonna sit idly by and let him do this. This is the kind of stuff when people talk about people are paid to say information and say things like that. This is what they're talking about right here. So we lost. So now we lost. Mute your mic. Don't. When the host is speaking, I don't care who it is. Don't speak over the host. Mute your mic. This is this doomsday scenario that people putting out here now. But everything would have been peaches and cream if Kamala had won. Everything would have been everything, and we would all been sitting underneath a oak tree saying a kumbaya. My Lord, please, this is nonsense. There's no way in hell. This boy has autism, and yeah, he's being groomed to be the next president of the United States. And not only that, they're going to make him the president before he even gets 30 years of age. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That I told you you was butthurt. And even Elon. So what? And Kamala, what was she gonna do for And it's the same one. Now Kamala, at the last minute, 2 weeks before the election, she decides to go ahead and put out this agenda for black men. No other time she didn't worry about black men. No other time, remember, because she couldn't do anything specifically for black men. But all of a sudden, she could do things. She couldn't do anything specifically for black people. But all of a sudden, she was going to do something for black men in particular, a group that the Democrats don't even acknowledge, don't even talk about during election times, don't even speak about black men. Like black men are non-existent. Like they don't even exist. Only time they speak about black men is when you got Obama and the rest of Michelle Obama them coming out to chastise and talk about what you ain't gonna do. And woman, go ahead and vote. You ain't got to tell him. You ain't got to tell that nigga nothing. That kind of attitude. And we sitting up here and you talking about somebody, you talking about they're gonna go ahead and the Senate, the House, and everybody else, they're just gonna be all accord. They're gonna sit there and they're gonna bow down to Emperor Trump. Oh, yes, Emperor Trump, you got it. You can do whatever you want to do and this and that or whatever. Man, get out of here with that. That is a pure nonsense right there. That's somebody who's trying to scare people, trying to go ahead, you upset, you mad. Like I said, you butthurt. I said that earlier, and I mean it. I stand by. You need to go ahead and get that Vaseline and oil it down for the night, and make sure you sleep on your stomach and don't mess up your sheets because you butthurt. Let me go ahead and get the Marcel, man, and let me give a shout out to my girl Shannon too for her contribution on Cash App. They're gonna put an autistic kid up there so he can. I mean, and then you got people actually in the comment sections going along with this.
President.
No. Let Marcel. No. I said no. I'm gonna say no again. No. You ramble for. I let you ramble for a hot minute there. So it's Marcel's time. It's Marcel's time. Mute up.
Boy, y'all say some ridiculous things. Y'all think because you are articulate liars, that means your lie is the truth. I don't give a damn what Elon Musk says. So what? You know, it's so funny. Y'all are such hypocrites. 1 minute, you can't believe a thing that comes out of Trump's mouth. You can't believe a thing that comes out of anyone affiliated with Trump's mouth. The next minute, though, if Elon Musk says it, it must be true. So which one is it? Either Trump and everyone around him is a liar, or they're telling the truth. So if we're going to go with the attitude that because Elon Musk says it, it must be true, Elon Musk is also on record saying that this illegal immigration is one of the worst things for America and needs to be brought to an end. So if you want to take Elon Musk at his word, then let's take all of his words as truth, since you want to play that game. Number two, you're goddamn right we're special. I can tell you're not a freedman. I can tell you're not a descendant of people who were emancipated by this nation, because you have the attitude of a person who flees with this fear-mongering. It sounds like you are afraid that you might be one of those people rounded up and deported. You're damn right we're special. I don't think any of us thinks that America has been so kind that they won't try something with Black Americans. But what all of us who are Black Americans know is that we're going to fight back. We're not going to have this scared, cowardly attitude that we're just going to pack up and flee, or we're just going to settle for crumbs like the people who fled their country and came to ours. What no one can seem to answer is that if these illegals are so necessary for our economy to keep our economy strong, then why the hell is our economy in the toilet right now? Why the hell is it that every study after study has shown that the average American cannot come up with $400 in the event of an emergency if these illegals are so necessary for our economy? Why is it that in places like South Carolina, which is being flooded with illegals, you have 51% of South Carolinians saying they are having extreme struggles keeping the lights on and putting food on the table with all these illegals here? Why is it that now, more than any other time in modern history, you have an unprecedented amount of Americans who are saying that they're having a hard time making it with the bare necessities, who cannot afford a home, who are drowning in debt? Explain that. And if these illegals are so essential for our country, then why the hell are the economies in their country in such dire straits? Now, what you're saying is that there may be a readjustment with the economy. Well, hell, the economy is always in a state of expansion and contraction. Economists will tell you that. The economy that doesn't boom, 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 it's always going to bust at certain times. So if the economy is going to bust momentarily because we're getting these illegals out of there, then it's well worth it. Because having these illegals here is one of the reasons why the economy is in the toilet to begin with. All right? And as far as all this fear-mongering about Trump was in office already for 4 damn years. We were told by your guy, Biden, that he was going to put us back in chains. I never had a single chain nowhere near me. Did not happen. We were told by people that the whole damn world would be at war. That happened after Trump left office. Trump left office. Biden and Kamala got in there. Now everybody's damn going to hell. You got North Korea up in Ukraine. Russia's invading Ukraine. Israel and Palestine are going at each other's throats. They're about to go to war in Asia over the Yellow Sea. You got Colombia and Brazil having issues. You got Venezuela and Guyana having issues. You got Haiti's a damn mess dealing with the hell of a handbasket. So the turmoil seemed to count when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came in there. These boogeyman tactics are old and played out. And some of you think that you are articulate liars, or you are articulate exaggerators, that makes your exaggeration or your lies truthful, or that makes them convincing. It does not. It's not working. And this is one of the reasons why the damn Republicans, and I'm not a fan of the Republicans, I did vote for Trump because I want this damn illegal immigration invasion to stop or to be slow. And that's something I'll stand on. I'm not ashamed of it at all. I'm not going to apologize. Proud I did it. I want to be clear about that. I want to be really clear about that part. But that's one of the reasons why the Democrats have lost the presidency. They've lost the Senate. They lost the popular vote, they lost the electoral vote, and they're about to lose the damn House, or it's going to be at least a split majority in the House. No, not one party will have the majority, because we're tired of the bad faith argument, telling us that the sky is falling if this happens, when the sky is falling now. The only people the sky is not falling for are the corporations and the illegal immigrants that you're sitting here trying to subtly imply that we need. We don't. And I'm really glad to see, because I really don't trust the Trump administration either to keep their word. So I was really shocked, however, when the first thing that was said by the lady who might be his press secretary is that the first thing they're preparing for is the largest mass deportation operation in American history. So I'm glad that it seems they're going to keep their word on that. Now, are they probably going to deport 20, 25 million people? That's highly unlikely, but it can be done. Because one thing we need to understand, you don't have to deport everyone. They will self-deport. You want to spread that myth that Obama had very high deportation numbers? It's a myth. He did not. I put it in the Jumbotron. Does you like to put things in the Jumbotron? Apparently putting things in the Jumbotron makes things true. According to people of your ilk, I put it in the Jumbotron. A lot of Mexicans were self-deporting under Obama. You know why? Because at the time Obama was in office and we were going through a great recession, Mexico's economy was booming. And just like a lot of fleers do, the moment they feel they can get greener pastures elsewhere, they leave the country they invaded and they go to where they can find better opportunities. So a lot of Mexicans started voluntarily self-deporting, and that kind of has a deportation for Obama. You know what else Obama was doing? He was granting damn permanent parole status or amnesty to illegal immigrants, and that counted as the numbers dropping. You know what else Obama did? He did the DACA Act, which means like 1 million to 2 million illegals protected status here. And also, in that article I put in the Jumbotron, for every illegal that Obama deported, quote unquote, 3 illegals entered the country. So he may have put a lot of people out, but he let a lot of goddamn people in. And it's funny how y'all try to always leave that part out. I'm not going to give any party Hill's cake when it comes to immigration. The Republicans have been terrible on it. The Democrats have been terrible on it. I'm voting for policy. I'm just looking at the history of Trump, and he was the most consistently anti-mass immigration. He doesn't even go far enough for me. So if the economy needs to go through a period of bust or a period of contraction while we put these illegals out, I'm all for it. Because the economy is going through a period of bust and a period of contraction right now with all these illegals here. And the illegals are a large part why it's been happening. And yet, while the economy is going through a period of contraction, we're still finding money to feed, to clothe, and to take care of these illegals' health care needs, their shelter, transportation, their clothing, job training programs, legal services, you name it. So even with our economy being in the toilet, we still find money to take care of these damn illegals. So we can find money to get them the hell out.
Real quick, Marcel, I want to ask you, what did you think about the other title in the in the headline as well, to the $200 million that the NAACP is talking about giving for a Black business fund to entrepreneurs and Black business owners and stuff as well too?
That don't be reactionary. They realize, you see, they're not telling us the truth. Right now, the narrative is that Native Americans, Asians, and Hispanics, whatever race they may decide, went for Trump heavily. They're not telling us the full story. A lot of Black people went for Trump heavily as well. Some data coming out of Texas shows that 35% of Black men went for Trump. Nationally, it's like 23%, which is slightly higher than national rate the last time. But what the data is not telling us is that Kamala Harris underperformed in every single state. What was the key to that underperformance is that Black people, Black men and Black women, stayed home and did not come out. Now, you know, the Democrats like to do that bad faith praise. They like to say that Black voters are the most politically savvy. Yeah, we're politically savvy. I'll take that. And that's why we knew that by staying home and not voting for her would actually help Trump. So, yeah, they're not telling you the full story. So now the NAACP and the Democrats, they're now realizing that, oh, shoot, We can't just depend on black voters showing up. We can't depend on boogeyman tactics, letting black people know. It can get a whole lot worse if you don't come in. Things may not be good now. They can get a whole lot worse if you don't come out and vote for us. They realize that's not working. So this is just them symbolically trying to do something to appeal to the people whom they should have been looking out for in the first place, and they have been failing. But even with that, I would like to read the fine print. Who are these? What black businesses are they going to finance? Are they specifying freedmen? Or are they just going to be majority black immigrants? Are these going to just be black boulets and vote blue no matter who? Democratic loyalists? So I'm not impressed by it at all. NAACP have been irrelevant. Matter of fact, from their conception, W.B. Du Bois, Ida B. Wells were telling them they weren't about nothing. So that's what I feel that's all about.
All right, appreciate that, Marcel. I'm gonna get to no taxation. Ellis, I see you up here too. I'm gonna get to you, and then I'm gonna get to the other speakers that's already spoke as well too. No taxation. How you doing tonight?
Fair to Midland, I got no real complaints. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. Hey, Professor.
Hey, Sister No Tax, how are you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I ain't got no real complaints. I got some fake ones. Well, we made it, y'all. We on the other side of this this election, and praise God, nobody got hurt.
You low? You kind of low? No taxation. You got your headset on?
No, let me change rooms.
You may have to crank up your volume a little bit too, because you're kind of low.
I can hear loud and clear too.
I can hear her, but she's low though. I can hear her, but she's low. But that's fine. Go ahead.
I was saying that we made it to the other side of this election and nobody got hurt because somebody really could have gotten assassinated. We know that. And it didn't happen. So that's a good thing for the United States of America because we already got a black eye internationally based on these stunts we're pulling. $200 million. So, hello to everybody in the room. I'm sorry, y'all know I don't have a lot of formalities with me, but everybody know that I say hello and wish everybody well. $200 million NAACP Black Business Fund. Does it say black? I would like Marcel. I want to see the fine print. What they talking about? Who they talking about it to? And who's already in line for the money? Marcel is right. Who they giving it to? People, when you have that kind of money, they already know who they're gonna give that money to. So they just advertise it to make it look like they did something. $200 million in this country for black folks is really a drop in the bucket. Let's be real clear. Let's be real clear. That's not no real money, especially if you live in a place called New York, where I think Park said he lived. Lugo is out there and be more careful. Look, it costs money to live in these cities now because the cities are full of black folks and gentrifiers. So I'm not impressed. Trump immigration reform. Well, you know, Obama, he used to get these people out of here. He put them on those military planes, those big cargo military planes where you can get a whole lot of them in there. And he flew them out in the middle of the night. He sure did. He put them right on those military planes and got those people up out of here. And Trump can do the same. It's been done before. They've gotten people out of this country, and self-reporting is real because today, Luco, Eric Adams, he still got a little job to do. Eric Adams told the people they're not getting food stamps no more. See, when you stop feeding people in New York in November, baby, next thing they're going to do is put them out of the shelter. But I told y'all that's what they was going to do. This is America. Come on now. Y'all got to know we got game. This is what we do. And Eric Adams been through with them. Then people get ready to get on the street, and he going to do his best to get them locked up because the next move they're going to make and what they've been pounding on the door, the Oval Office door for, is to be able for states to be able to deport themselves. And everybody has said they want to do it with the exception of California. We know why. Because Newsom wants them people over there because he feels like that's going to be his votes. And maybe those people will be happier over there. Let them go. I don't care nothing about the West Coast. Let them fall off in the ocean as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, my Cali people. Yeah, there's a lot of nuances to this. I'm waiting for the numbers. A lot of people are waiting for the numbers. Marcel said we have 23% for black men. If we can double that in 8 to 10 years, 10 to 15 years, man, the system is broke. That two-party political system will be broken. And y'all did it. Y'all did it. You got to give yourselves a pat on the back because black grassroots stood up. You stood up immediately and loudly, and you pushed and you did not give up day and night. And you handled it. You handled it. You really did. And they're not going to tell you that, just like Marcel said, because they know they have to deal with us. And they, just like immigration, they want to kick that can down the road too. They want to kick the can of repair for us down the road, and they want to kick immigration down the road. They don't want to go in there and tinker with something. But I will tell you this: if y'all want to talk about politics, talk about it. But if you want to play politics, do this. Keep up with that conversation with them talking about they're going to tinker with the Constitution with regards to immigration, because there has to be something we can get tinkered for us as well up there in that Constitution. And y'all are smart enough to do it. Y'all are the ones that can make us think and get it done. So here's what happened, y'all. Bottom line, truthfully, and Marcel will tell you this, there's an old saying that everybody has said for years and years and years in politics. It says the economy is stupid. Anytime the economy is bad, it's going to be real hard for somebody to get in that Oval Office that if it happened on their watch. And that's just true too. And white women sold white women out. They sat around each other and talked about what they were going to do for that Harris and all that kind of stuff. And Chucks and Pearls and D9 came out there, and white women raised money for her, big money. But they didn't raise enough. And they could not raise Peter Thiel. And they dimed each other out because they voted for Trump. And that's what happened. But I'm going to tell you something. The biggest difference that's going to be, and I want y'all to hear me well, because this Trump administration is not going to be anything like the last one. I can quote that and guarantee you that. The biggest difference is going to be that Peter Thiel is going to be in the very center of the power of the Oval Office. Okay? His boy Vance was handpicked by him to go to Capitol Hill. And he done poured a large amount of money and time in this campaign. And he won. And Trump owes. I believe that's where the flying bullets came from. And he's a danger to anybody that is not a WASP male. And my opinion is this: America will never be great until it pays its debt to my people. Black Americans, FBA, Negroes, Freedmen, ADOS, us. So let it fall. That was my opinion. My guess is that America is going to be too big to fail. And up in banks, do you understand what I mean when I say too big to fail? It ain't going nowhere. And I'm going to leave it there.
All right. Thank you, Miss No Taxation. Thank you as always. Let me give a shout out to 400 for his contribution on Cash App. We're going to go ahead and get to Ellis. Ellis is a new speaker. I see Miss T up here as well, too. Miss T, I'm going to get to you as well, too. Ellis, go ahead and unmute your mic. You there, Ellis?
problem, I guess, with seeing our names on lists or having any type of, connection to the system. I was one of them. I was very anti-government type of dude, in a sense, through my actions. So I get it, right? But if we're going to be in the system, then we got to start doing things systematically, and that includes having lists of people that we think is, suitable to speak for us, right? Crossing people off that list, vetting people openly and publicly, not behind closed doors, like it's always been done by the elites. So get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Get used to it. People's government names being on the list. Well, if you want to represent people, then we need to know what your name is so we can look you up. So get used to it. But with that said, I came up here to really speak on real briefly about what the brother who got Trump with waves on in trial looks like. So I guess Trump has waves when he is in trial, which is pretty interesting on Park Ave. But he has said something about Elon Musk and his relation to the Trump administration. I listened to Trump on the Joe Rogan podcast, right? He spoke for like 3 hours. So if you really want to hear what the brother got to say, right? What the president has to say, then you should go listen to him. And he said himself, like, I like Elon, but they were talking about oil, right? And he was like, yeah, we're going to keep Elon away from the oil. You see, I like what Elon's doing, but we're going to keep him away from the oil. Basically, he's telling you that there's, just because you fuck with somebody, right?
Try not to drop any F-bombs. Hey, yeah, go ahead.
Just because you're supporting somebody or somebody's in your camp doesn't mean that you agree with everything that they're wrong. Elon is an EV guy. He's an electric vehicle person. So, of course, Trump will keep him away from the oil situation in his cabinet. So that goes to show you that, even though Elon may say something, he doesn't reflect exactly what Trump is saying or even what his team is saying. They're just working together where they can come together. And Marcel said it best. We need people who can get in there and speak for us. And I think right now when it comes to the immigration situation, I think Trump was best speaking the Black American position, which is that, people are coming in, they are competing with us. It is an issue. There is crimes being done in our neighborhoods, not there. So it's an issue to us, and Trump best represented that. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to come in there and kind of say. I know we got away from that, but I think that Trump and Elon, I don't think Elon represents what Trump is saying. The last thing is that, we are trying to put together a list of people that we feel is safe to speak on our behalf. I'm sure it may have been done. I haven't seen it. This is not my list. It's everybody's list. So if you guys got some names that we can add to it, you know what I mean? We're not all going to get round up and go into slavery with this list. So I know some people may be concerned with that on the Democrat side, but we got some good brothers on there. Tyreek's on there, Marcel's on there. If you guys know anybody that you think would be able to best speak on behalf of Black Americans, let's add them to the list and start betting and start looking up the skeletons in their closet. Let's be on top of these decisions. So by the time it's their turn to make a decision, they're going to have to go off what we decide. I would like to see it about 150 names, maybe get dropped down to 20 names, and then ultimately it'd be 5 names on that list that we could show, and put out there publicly. They may ignore it, but it's going to be out there in the public domain. So if they make any fuck ups, then we already know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you gotta watch some F-bombs, bro. But go ahead.
So if there's any type of inconsistencies, then it would be already out there in the public domain. So that's the reason for this list. And it's out there. It's been posted. I've been posting this in the Jumbotron. I just wanted to kind of speak on that. And thank you for having me, bro.
All right, appreciate it. I'm gonna get to Brother Moku and Park Avenue, but first I'm gonna get to Miss T, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get to you fellas as well too. And anybody else in the that in the listener section that want to come up and speak, guys, definitely come on up here and speak. Shout out to all you guys coming and joining us tonight for this conversation as well too. And make sure you follow Newstoter on Twitter, and make sure you follow us on Facebook. I ain't posting on no Facebook because they kept flagging the brother and banning them and stuff. But make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all of our platforms. Definitely here on X, where we put out a bunch of content daily. And definitely make sure you follow us on YouTube. It's up in the Jumbotron on the left-hand side. and it's also in the purple pill. Make sure you follow us on YouTube as well, guys, as well too. For those that can support us on Cash App, once again, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. But definitely for those that can and want to join and support the platform, you can actually join that by clicking on the in the jumbotron on the far right hand. It only takes a minute to create an account, and for as little as $1.75, you can support a Black American-owned media curation platform that supports other Black news sites and curators and bloggers as well too. Miss T, how you doing tonight?
Well, what's up, Newstoter? And shout out to the rest of the family in the room. It's been a minute since I came up on your stage.
How you doing, sister?
Hey, what's up, Miss T?
Yeah, thank you so much for and that doggone, because I took an opportunity, Newstoter, to post up in your jumbotron what she talked about, and that New York has said you buy your own food now. They will be cutting those funds. And he has already stated that that's going to be the first thing that ends all of their support, all of their EBT, their cash option on their, their little cards, their free health care, the housing subsidies, all of that is gone. Now, what I'm hoping he does, which is what this present administration should have done when they knew all those illegals were coming, they should have first said, we know we're going to have to house these people. Let's get our Americans that are unhoused taken care of first. All of our veterans, let's get them off the streets. Everyone who needs to be housed, let's put them in housing because we know it's coming. And that's something Kamala should have said when they asked her if there would be anything she would have done. Said immigration, that immigration thing should have been what she said. However, these funds have already been allocated for. The funds are already approved. I'll say that, right? So I would like to see them use funds for the Americans, for our people that are sleeping in their cars in the Walmart, in the Kroger parking lots, and washing up in the bathrooms of some of the bigger convenience stores and things like that. The funds are already there. Let's use them appropriately and let's take care of Americans, which is why a lot of people voted Trump, because he led with an American first agenda that resonated with people. And it seemed like the Democrats led more with the immigration a message, and people just. And about the NAACP, all of a sudden, after they have do not just, they're now saying.
You're kind of breaking up a little bit, Miss T. Yeah, you really breaking up. Not your voice went way down. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah, it keeps going. It keeps coming in and going out. Seem like, I guess Miss T is disconnecting, so she'll be back in a second. Let me see if I can get her back up here real quick. I think she disconnected because she was having some audio issues. She's requesting to come back up, so hopefully it should be better. Let me see. Miss T, can you hear me?
Are you talking to me, Newstoter?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. About the NAACP. I need there to be an oversight committee to tell us who's getting this money,
And how are they deciding what are the qualifications that we must meet in order to apply? Because Newstoter, I would love to see you get some of this money, right? So that you can elevate and you can scale up your business, because we need you in this black media space. But why you just tell us you got $200 million and then didn't give us any qualifiers, didn't tell us how to begin the process of applying? Why now? That's kind of how I'm looking at this thing. But I do need some oversight, because I don't want them giving this money away to a lot of I'll just say people from immigrant backgrounds, because that's who a lot of these corporations, a lot of these banks and organizations seem to help. It's like the Black American is always at the bottom of the barrel before we are ever given a hand up, but we're always looked at to help everybody else. So I hope you get yourself together, Newstoter, to apply for some of these funds, because I want to see you grow and do great things, brother. Thank you for the stage.
Definitely, I appreciate that, and thank you, Miss T. Definitely appreciate that. Looks like we got Park up here. Anybody else that wants to speak? We ain't gonna keep it going too much longer, but for those that want to speak and come on up here, definitely come on up here and get it in while you can. Go ahead, Park. I know this ought to be entertaining.
So right now we're starting to hear some of the cabinet positions being announced, and I just want to issue this out. We all remember Marcellus Williams in the Missouri case and how the state, person after person, failed him. One of the biggest person who failed him in the largest way, after the Supreme Court and his lawyers came to a decision to overturn his death penalty, to make it a life sentencing with parole, which the Supreme Court in Missouri agreed to. There was one person who said, no, I want this man killed. His name was, sorry, give me one moment. I just had it on here. It was the Missouri Attorney General. Right now, for everybody in here who vote for Trump, good for you. But I want you to know that Donald Trump has put out the name of the man who murdered Marcellus Williams to be his next Attorney General. So if you voted for Trump, you voted for Marcellus Williams' killer to be put as his Attorney General. If this man gets approved, which is all likelihood that he will be there, and we will have an Attorney General who we all saw lead the killing of Marcellus Williams. So I didn't vote for that. My vote was not an innocent person, right? I'm not saying that my vote wasn't. But for the progress of people, of black people, I definitely don't want to see someone like that. When I voted for in 2020, I knew that a guy like Merrick Garland would become the Attorney General. But, voting for Trump comes with things. And like I said before, the man who made sure that Marcellus Williams was killed, the Missouri Attorney General, is now being talked about to become the next United States Attorney General. And I think that's absolutely disgusting. And unfortunately, Harris ran a terrible campaign. They dealt her a terrible bunch of cards. But here we are in 2024, going into 2025, now with the possibility that Marcellus Williams' killer from the Missouri Attorney General can now be promoted because he killed a black man, right? Like, that's his promotion for doing a good service to their people. He's now being promoted to now become possibly the United States Attorney General. And someone was saying something about Elon Musk in the oil thing. When Donald Trump was talking about, don't touch the oil, he wasn't talking about Elon Musk. He was talking about RFK Jr. RFK Jr. was the one that was saying, don't touch the oil in that interview with Trump and Joe Rogan. So, you're saying that you're going to, put these black people with Trump, the people that you'll be dealing with if you are actually going to be doing this. I don't know if you are or not, but if you do, if you are going to be doing this, Elon Musk is going to be the guy is going to be a part of this. But I just want to make that clear that, you said Elon Musk, wasn't going to be touching the oil. He was talking about RFK. But again, it's sad that, we once again got played, and that Marcellus Williams killer from the votes of many black people is now being promoted because he killed one of us.
All right. Thank you, Park. Wow, that's something. Now I remember when they were talking about the Central Park Five, and everybody was talking about Trump and the way, he did this and he did that. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't the actual district attorney and all the people that actually went after them, weren't they actually Democrats as well too? When we talk about the
she was Democrat and a Jew.
yeah, when we talk about the 94 crime bill that Joe Biden went ahead and penned, that Bill Clinton went ahead and co-signed as well too. How many black men you think were put up in prisons? How many states were incentivized to go ahead and go along with this as well too? I'm sure there was a number of black men, because we did a space as well too, talking about all of the exonerees and all of the black people that were found that were actually innocent of crimes and stuff like that. How many innocent black men you think that they locked up in the 90s at the behest of Joe Biden and Bill Clinton? If we want to really go there, I mean, so I find that kind of funny when you had all of the wait, no, I'm just putting that out there. Wait. When we had Barack Obama in office for 8 years, how many times did his DOJ go ahead and try to actually do something and really persecute some of these people that was out here just killing innocent black people, gunning them down and everything else like that as well too? So, I find that kind of funny that, and people always say that, because I post a lot of articles. You guys know, if you follow news, so, I post a good amount of articles, and I think I posted the one, I can't remember which one, because damn, I post a lot, where the brother, he got killed by the cops or something. Like I said, I can't remember. And then you have people commenting, talk about when Trump becomes president, it's going to be police immunity. This is just a happening. This is just going on. But I'm like, listen, this is also going on right now under a Democrat president. So, I mean, all of the stuff people keep talking about and whatnot, like when a Democrat is in office and you have these police brutalities and shootings and everything else going on, I never hear Democrats talk about, this took place under one of our presidents and this and that or whatever. So I just find it a little bit funny that, the actual, some of the most damaging laws put in place over the past 60 years have actually come at the hands of Democrats. We can look at how they went ahead and they helped to destroy the black family in the 60s with the welfare, trying to incentivize black women, trying to turn them against black men and black men against black women. Professor, you got to mute your mic. Yeah, Professor, you got to mute your mic, Professor. You sit up here and we look at the actual like I say, the crime bill and all this other stuff as well too. So I find that so funny that you have a lot of black people, when you start mentioning stuff like that, they quick to deflect. Well, it was a bunch of church leaders and a bunch of black politicians. They also agreed with the crime bill. Okay, and if they all agreed with it and everything was fine with it, then why did the Biden come out later on, and him and the Clintons and the Hillary and them, they kind of apologized for, instituting and everything else like that as well too. So I just find it funny, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, how they always toe the company line with their people. And you're sitting up here and you're talking about, about this innocent brother that got killed, but what are you saying? You're saying that there've never been any innocent black people under Democratic governors, under Democratic presidents or senators, anything else like that have been killed? Is that what we're trying to feed, tell the room and everything else like that? Because we know that's a lie. We know that's not true. So I just find that fascinating. I just find that so fascinating that it's always police brutality, and it's always racism, and it only comes under Republican president. It never comes under a Democratic president. It never comes under any of this stuff. It's just solely the Republican Party. The Democrats are just this innocent group of people that just have their hands tied. These poor people They fight like hell, and they just can't help the poor little Negroes. I mean, how long are y'all gonna keep perpetuating this stuff? How long? Go ahead, Park, because you were gonna say something.
This isn't about the blue team versus the red team. I just wanted to share something.
Well, yeah, it was, because you made certain to bring that point out, and you made certain to say, well, Trump is this and that or whatever, and yeah, you made certain to go ahead and connect the dots. Now, like, let's not do that. Now, you did that. That was intentional. Now, come on. And while you did that, I can understand what you're saying. Hey, you have a valid point like that. I also believe I have a valid point, and I also believe I have history on the side with the two examples that I just used that was detrimental to the black race. Now, do you refute that? Hello? Has a space? Can you guys hear me? Has a space crashed? Has everything gone mute? I don't know.
Man, something going on. Yeah, I mean, something going on in space. Though DJ said he trying to come back up here, and I don't see him in here.
I don't see him either. But I was just wondering. I mean, based off of historical evidence, what I just said. I mean, is that a lie, Park? Has the Democratic Party not had a hand in undermining the black race for the past 60 years? Oh, okay. Maybe we're having some technical issues on Park's part. Because I mean, I'm just hearing all this stuff. It's always these mean, horrible Republicans and the poor Democrats. Now you can tell a lot of these black celebrities and entertainers and these nigger ball players and the black caucus, and you can tell these older black women that go to the churches and the preachers, and you can tell all of them that. But I know better. They have been detrimental in the black what they're dealing with the black people. It's both sides. It's not just one side. I don't have any love for the Republicans either. So let me make that clear as well, too. It's been a two-way party. It's not just a one-way thing. Both sides, but especially when it comes to just some of the legislation that's been put in place by the Democrats has been detrimental to the black race. And they get a pass, every election time. And if you mention that, black people that support Democrats, they get upset with you and they get mad. Now they can talk about all the evil things and nasty things that Republicans do, but they just go ahead and it's just a free pass for Democrats. Democrats can say and do any and everything. So I'm just trying to figure out, how is that fair? How is that even? No taxation. Ely, Detroit, did you want to say something? I said you came up here. You were super low, Ely. If you got a headset on, you got to take it off. You still low. Try it again. You even lower, Ely. You may have to disconnect and come back because you super low. Yeah, you were super low. No taxation. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
I forgot there was something I wanted to say about Barron Trump.
No taxation, real quick. Let me give a shout out to Ariza too, because Ariza did donate on Cash App. So let me give a shout out to my man Ariza, because he always comes through and support. But go ahead, no taxation.
Barron Trump, he is autistic. He's on the spectrum. I don't know. I haven't tested him, but having been in the business.
Yeah, he is autistic, I believe. That's why when they talk about this whole thing that talk about
he ain't gonna, let me tell you, his mother don't. That's why I can't tell you.
No taxation. His mama ain't got nothing to do with it. We know America. We know how America is.
His mother is not gonna let him do anything she doesn't want him to do, and she don't want to be tied to that White House. She watches that boy because she raises that boy. He didn't go to the same school the rest of the president's children went to. He went to a school that taught him how to be self-sufficient, which is what he was supposed to be. That's what you teach your children when they have a disability. Because God forbid if something happens to you, you want them to be able to do that. I will tell you, he found his niche is in technology. So if Trump keeps him there, because he worked on his campaign with the technology part. Okay? He's smart enough to do that. Okay? If he keeps him in that role, some type of role, age, because the boy is still young. But, in that type of role, let him get some more experience. It is what it is. Nepotism rules the day on Capitol Hill anyway. And I wouldn't, his chief of staff is the other thing. Y'all remember I kept telling y'all white women was on the move. You see what happened, didn't you? I told y'all when they got rid of Cuomo, I said white women on the move. The first person Trump picked to be in his administration for chief of staff is a white woman. And I'm going to leave it there.
All right. Thank you. No taxation. Now, what I was saying was that his mother, that's one thing, because, a mother supporter and she's protective of a child. But I'm saying the American public is not going to put, not anywhere in the near future. Now, maybe in the year 2050 or something like that, they may, but in the next 20 some odd years or something like that, I mean, maybe 2060. But in the next 20 some odd, I don't see an autistic person, holding the actual presidency here of the United States. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it. Like I said, America, you've never, how many presidents have you even seen with a mustache, goatee, a beard? Like I say, how many bald presidents have you seen? How many fat presidents have you seen? How many presidents? FDR was in a wheelchair. If FDR was around today, he wouldn't be president just because we could talk about he was crippled and stuff like that, disabled. So I'm not saying this to be funny or whatever. I'm just going and just being honest. Like it wasn't gonna happen. Park, I'm gonna get to you, but let Professor please, guys, because I don't know what the just the mumbo jumbo Park got. I don't know if I could do it no more.
No, you can't do it anymore. Don't stop listening to that stuff. I told you all to tune all that mess out about that political party stuff. Just tune it out because it's not going to do you any good. It really isn't. I told you the newest generation of people, the newest voters, newly registered, first time voting between the ages of 18 and 21, 3/4 of them across the board in the United States of America are independents. So anybody black that is stationed to a political party and has their sights set on a political party and not trying to rise within that party and do something within that party and be in a leadership position in that party is a fool. You're a fool. Because the new society is going to say we don't care about your party, we care about our policies. And that's what ruled the day. You cannot have a raggedy economy, high inflation, and invade the country with a bunch of people and give them resources that belong to us and think you're going to be able to take the Oval Office. It's a setup. It was a setup. It was a setup. Where is Harris going to go from here? Where's she going to go? She's been VP. Where's she going to go? The only place she can go is Secretary of State. That's the only thing that's the way the system is set up, how you parlay yourself. She can't go nowhere. It was a setup to get her out. So Newsom can come in. Muko, are you still in the room? If so, Brother Muko will tell you.
Yeah, I think Muko must have dropped down.
The fight in this country will always be the white man versus the black man. I don't care who they let up in here. Black men are rising up. You see them taking them down, don't you? Y'all better connect the dots and read the room and check the tea leaves.
Is it a coincidence that Donald Trump goes against...
Who's speaking? And
the other one being...
Okay, real quick. Who's speaking real quick? Who's that speaking?
That's Hawk. Big Hawk.
Okay, Big Hawk. Wait 1 minute. Put your hand up. We'll get to you. I got you, Big Hawk. But wait 1 second. But no taxation. Were you finished speaking?
Yeah, I'm just going to say this, Newstoter. No, you're absolutely correct. They're not going to... I don't think whatever Trump did to get, Barron in there in the system some kind of a way has nothing to do with the Oval Office. It might be a job, but they're not even planning for him to take the Oval Office. His mother would never allow it. His mother won't allow it. Y'all don't understand. That woman is in charge of Barron Trump, period. That's the only one Donald Trump can't touch is Barron. And she got it like that, and she gonna keep it like that. She watches over that boy like a hawk, and she should. And I'm gonna leave it there.
No, okay. My bad, Professor. What happened with DJ was that he told me to drop him down from the co-host, and I messed around and removed him from the room. So that's why he couldn't get up in here. He just DM'd me. So my bad, DJ. Like, oh, Hawk, go ahead, and then Professor, I want you to go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that. Is it a coincidence that he goes against two women? Now he loses against the white male, but is this some type of because they always playing this? It's always about the psychological aspect of defeat is a big thing, and if a white man can beat a white woman and can beat a woman of color. But he can't defeat his own counterpart, which is another white male. What does that say? And was it on purpose, or was this a setup in the first place?
You made a valid point there. You made a very valid point. We gonna see. I want to see what's gonna happen with this presidency right now. I know the entire world. There's a lot of nervous people in this country right now. A lot of nervous people that feel like, hey, they may be deported, and a lot of people on pins and needles with Donald Trump being the president of the United States. So it's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out. Definitely. Is it viable? Is it gonna happen? Are they going to be able to deport 1 million people a year or whatever? They're talking about 11 million. That's a lot of people to deport in 4 years. We'll see, but it's worth looking at. So I want to see exactly how this thing is going to play out as well, too. I think Park must have left the space, and it's just that belly ache, and I don't know, man. It's just wow. Professor, go ahead, because I was going to let you come up here because I didn't know how much more I could. I was, me, I let people come up here and speak, but good Lord, like yikes.
Hey man, Park finally dropped on now because he knew he wasn't gonna get anywhere with us, man. He knows that he was pulling for Kamala, and his girl lost, and he's pissed and he's crying, and like the rest of the I guess some of these other females up in these spaces and on this app that's been sending out video talking about they want black men to die. I guess he's gonna join in with them with the Kleenex. So all I can say is, hey, I celebrate as a alpha black male that Kamala lost this race because of me. I'm very proud to say that. I'm glad she lost, and maybe she'll drop on out of the politics. Maybe she'll just get on out of here and go back to India. Do like the rest of these immigrants. All immigrants need to just go ahead and self-deport on out of here. And I think
technically, I don't think she was born in India. I think she lived in Canada though. But go ahead, Professor.
Well, she can go on back up there again. Go on somewhere, because we don't want you here. We don't want any of you here. But let me say this, y'all. I put in the Jumbotron because this is breaking news, okay? Some of you might have already seen text messages that are going around to black students across the nation. I just put it in the Jumbotron. Very serious text messages, dangerous text messages saying that we're going to come to your house to put you back in slavery. Yeah, and it's got the Trump administration name linked to it. Now, it's up in the Jumbotron. I just give you a little summarize, but you can read the entire text message.
That's the Democratic Party doing that.
I believe it is too. But y'all, this has gone around to just about every black student across the nation. As a matter of fact, it's on the news right now here in Alabama because they said that it originated here. Now that's what they're saying. They're saying that the message originated here from Alabama. So I'm gonna try to get more news on this, get more updates on it, and try to keep the family updated on what's going on with this text message. But this has gone out to black students all across the nation, but they said it originated here. from Alabama, which is where I live. So,
but they are so. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off. But they right now, I was in one of their spaces, and they in there bawling their eyes out, and they crying. A bunch of gay people, and then all of it, and they're talking about all of these ideas of what they gonna do and stuff like that. So it could not only be all of them are a part of the Democratic Party. I mean, they have created a bunch of people who are very radical leftists, and so it doesn't surprise me that this is what they're on and this is what they're doing, because they're all in that together, that they're trying to try anything. I mean, you've seen the shit. They got women talking about sterilizing themselves. A woman actually sterilized herself, saying that she's not gonna have no more babies, she's not gonna have no more sex with people. You're making a lifetime decision over 4 years, and this is the type of sick ideology that comes out of there. So I feel like any woman that voted for that party, if you didn't get caught by happen chance, I think that you are an agent of chaos. You're an Antifa, and there's something seriously wrong with you. I think you need a lot of them need to get a psyche valve. You know what I'm saying? So, and they're sending these dangerous text messages to children. Just think about how sick these people really are.
man, it is insane, y'all. Cause look, you know what? Here's the deal. I'm gonna read this text message right quick, okay? So this is how dangerous this is. Greetings. You have been selected to be a house slave at Abingdon Plantation. Come to this address, 300 7th Street, Southwest, Washington, D.C., 20024 at 0500 tomorrow sharp with all of your belongings. This is mandatory. Our executive spaces will come get you in a turquoise van. Be prepared to be searched down once you enter the plantation grounds. You will be stationed at Plantation Point L. Sincerely, Trump administration.
Hey, Professor, let me say something real quick, Professor. If anybody's in here live streaming this space, do not live stream it and do not put it on your YouTube channel. And you know who I'm talking to. Anybody that's in here doing that, you better not be doing it, because I am gonna flag your damn YouTube channel. So do not go ahead. There's somebody that was in here before that was doing that. If you're in here doing it, you better not do it. I'm just letting you know straight up. But go ahead, Professor.
So, family, this is something that we just need to stay on top of, because we will probably see more stuff like this happening, where you will see stuff happen with messages. You might even see even more crazy videos coming out. You might even see people around your neighborhood or in the public, wherever you are, doing something crazy, because this election brings out craziness, okay? You already know we live in times of craziness. People are just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So just stay alert. Make your children aware of their surroundings. Make sure you are protected at all times. 14A over 2A, everybody. I'm telling you, women in particular, because white supremacy likes to attack women. As we've seen in a lot of these videos, they're attacking you guys first. It used to be a time they would just go ahead and try to go after men, but now it's like they don't care. They go after the women now, and willing to kill y'all. So everybody stay alert. I don't know what the deal is with this text message, but that is a very weird text message to be going out to black students across the nation. I'm gonna land right there.
Let me I'm gonna let Ariza go ahead and speak, and we're gonna probably be closing it out. Jerry, did you want to speak? If you want to speak, put your hand up as well too. DJ Blackie Chan, if you want to speak, put your hand up. Ely, I know you was having some issues before, so we got to make sure, because we could barely hear you. But Ariza, go ahead, you got it.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the space. Welcome.
My name is Arinza Thickpen Jr. I am from Alabama. I'm from Macon County, Tuskegee, East Alabama stand-up, and if you're on the Auburn side, War Eagle. I'm going to first address that text message that came out of Alabama. That's probably from South or West Alabama, because historically they've always been, pretty racist. But don't sweat the messages. That's just the actions of a sore loser. We're going to move forward. I want everybody. I know we have a lot of people in this space that are not FBA, but if you're a foundational Black American, hold your hand up high, say the 3 letters FBA, and keep it moving. We're getting everything we want. And I'm going to tell you guys why. Clearly, when we had the election, it showed that Black Americans aren't playing around. We managed to show them that our vote is not only the most important vote historically, but the most important vote figuratively. Black people are not playing around in this country anymore. So if the people who are a part of the Trump administration are aware of how powerful we are, so I want you guys to think about that, because now we're going to get everything we want and then some. Focus on what makes you great. The rest is going to take care of itself. I salute everybody in this room. I got here by accident. I've been working outside in Alaska. Temperature here is pretty low. But I came in to say, to salute everybody in this room and to say to all of you, don't worry about what everybody else has experienced. Those sore losers, they're going to be sore losers. Those people who write these racist text messages, they're going to do that. But don't let it change who you are as a person, and move forward and bring everybody else with you. FBA, 10 toes down. We're the winners. Celebrate. Continue to celebrate. If you have any questions, just DM me or follow me on Twitter. I promise you, everything that we want, we're about to get. And I'll land my plane there. Thank you, Newstoter. As always, bro. I got your back.
Appreciate that as always, Ariza. Let me go ahead and somebody got the mic unmuted. Let me get to Ely. Let me see. I'm gonna try to see if your audio is clear now. Can you hear me, Ely? Ely, you there? Ely, man, it's something with your phone, man. It is super low. Go ahead and try to speak. Let me see if I can hear you any. Yeah, I can hear you better now. Go ahead, Ely. Okay, I don't know. Ely having some issues there. I don't know what's up with Ely's phone tonight. Jerry, go ahead and unmute your mic, Jerry.
Hey, Rome, how you doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on now?
Nothing much. I'm from Alabama too, and I just wanted to chime in and co-sign Brother Arinza. If I mispronounce your name, I'm sorry. But in Alabama, growing up in Alabama, you should already be prepared for when racists rear their head. Racist people saying and doing stupid stuff to fearmonger should not be new to Black people. We are at a true point in history where we have made an entire party fail. Now is not the time to succumb to fear talk. When anytime anybody brings fear talk in our room, we need to identify them immediately as the enemy and an agent. Now, Black people, we lived through 4 years of Trump. Some of us lived through 4 years of Reagan. Some of us lived through 4 years of Bush. And nothing changed. This time, the energy is that we forced change. And sometimes when you force change, that means you have to stand your ground. That means you have to be prepared to go against the system of white supremacy. And you also have to be prepared to stand against their propaganda. Like I said, I just want to encourage the room from a lifelong Alabama. Don't be scared when they send out a text message. Black people are armed now. Black people have land. Black people have resources. And what we have to do is continue to stand resolute. Do not be afraid. Do not let anyone bring fear to you. No matter how change the Constitution, whatever, none of that. Not knocking anybody. But understand, these are tactics to get our focus off the prize. And I'm going to land my plane there. I enjoyed the space, and I want to keep everybody encouraged to keep the fight up because we've just begun the fight. Now that they understand that we're in this fight to win, they're going to do everything they can to discourage us. So keep standing strong. Keep having spaces. Keep putting people on blast. Keep getting people out the pain. And I thank y'all, and I land my plane.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get to Ariz, I'm gonna get to you real quick. Big Hawk, did you want to say something? No taxation. I'll let you guys go ahead and round it out for the night, and then we'll go ahead and we'll close this thing out. Like I said before, too, for those that can support, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. We independent Black American owned media, so we definitely need the support for those that can do it. Ariz, go ahead and unmute your mic. You there, RZA? Okay, Big Hawk, you go ahead. Oh, Big Hawk, did you want to? I don't know if Big Hawk wants.
What was that? What was the YouTube channel?
It's up in the Jumbotron. It's Newstoter. It's up on the. And if you look in the Jumbotron on the left hand side, mute your. Yeah, it should be on the left hand side. You may have to. Yeah, it's maybe about the 6 over from the left.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, I got it. I just wanted to end with I think that for the immigration and stuff like that, for mass deportation and stuff like that, I think that we just got a hell of a job to do by holding these people accountable while trying, because you know that they got some policies that ain't gonna be savory toward us. You know, we are dealing with the Republican Party, and watch out for the fear mongering that the Democrats are going to try to sneak in on. That's always how they get in. That's always how they get us. Oh, the Republicans getting ready to do this and put y'all in chains. You about to be his slave, you know. So we got to watch out for that, and then we also have to hold them accountable to the things that help us. Certain things that help them do help us. Mass deportation helps the Black community. Don't tell yourself that lie and think that you're a xenophobic for getting rid of these goddamn people that coming to steal all our damn resources and get in our leadership position of government to take us over, so that we won't. Our voice will not be. Imagine how they do us now. If they get in there and they're able to do that, we got to get rid of these tethers. That's the main thing. California. We got to get rid of the Black Caucus, them tethers. We trying to get reparations. We steady on the fight. We need to get rid of the tethers that these white supremacists are using in blackface. We have to get rid of these people and we have to hold the Republicans accountable, because we are here to get our check. Like Brother Malcolm, Brother MLK said, we came to get our check. Cut that motherfucker, cut the check.
What? Don't drop the MF. Don't drop the MF, but go ahead.
Oh, okay, my bad. Peace, love, and reparations.
All right, appreciate that. DJ Blackie Chan, go ahead, you got it. I'm sorry, sweetie. We can't hardly hear you. Could you say that again?
I'm sorry, my phone. I got a cheap phone. Sorry, I'm on a budget. Like most people. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you a little bit. But go ahead.
Okay. That was a lot. There's a lot to unpack on what I dropped in space. I want to first off say, thank you so much for what you're doing. I was on last night's space, with Sage, and Black Alpha, and for the most part, it was a positive interaction. And so I just want to continue that positive interaction I had last night with everybody on there. Folks that took me out of context and whatever. Water on the beach. So let's move forward. Man, first off, I don't know if that park guy is still up in here. Oh, just complete talking points.
Hey, real quick, y'all. Don't drop an F-bomb. No F-bombs. Okay, but go ahead.
Oh, my bad. He someone just mentioned the text message situation, which that's going to happen because unfortunately, both parties are going to utilize what they've always done, and I think someone hit it right on the nail. The fear mongering. The fear mongering is what they're going to do because that's what they know how to do. They don't know how to treat Americans and treat people with respect. As you saw how Kamala walked off that stage, as if it was like some Shakespearean play. You know, the elite is it's not even a racist situation. The elitist aspect of it because of the money and the power that is at stake globally. You know, and for Black Americans, you know, you all have to fight probably even harder than ever before. I'm of Haitian descent, born in New York, Brooklyn, raised in Miami, and for me, my platform when I ran for office in Miami, I was trying to explain this last night, but unfortunately, like I said, this time, and I'm gonna try to cut this short. When I came out with a platform that wanted to help, the number one thing of my research before I decided to run for office, and I was an actor for 30 years in Miami, was wages. That's it. That was the number one issue everyone told me, especially going into the pandemic, was wages. And when I brought out that platform, especially to the, you know, I love my labor unions. I have no issues with them, but unfortunately, they're as corrupt as the party system. And a lot of the organizations, a lot of the NGOs, Congressional Black Caucus, NAACP, they are not on the side of American workers. Just understand that. And I'm going to bring up 3 points real fast, and I'm going to explain myself. How this all started, obviously, was in the 70s. You know, the way they started tearing down manufacturing in the United States. That was not by, you know, the distraction was with the oil and the embargo and Vietnam War and Iran. All that was a distraction. That was them slow dripping, getting rid of Maytag and major companies that were providing what? Good paying jobs in American cities. Unfortunately, we saw what happened. Then we fast forward to 1999 or in the 90s, mid 90s, and we can't even go about everything that happened after that. Crack, you know, crack, the crime bill, you know, the gentrification, what we saw in New York City with Disney trying to act like they're our friends. They're not our friends, man. These people are not our friends. If Disney was our friends, then why is an apartment in New York City $6,000? Come on now. So that's, you know, but that happened in the 90s with who? The Democratic Party, with NAFTA. For anybody who doesn't know, I've been following this since I was in high school, y'all. I'm 48 years old. I've been following trade and financial policy since 1999, 1995. So much so that I had to go kind of underground and roll with, and someone brought that up earlier. I don't know who it was. Much love to that person. Who brought up the Antifa intimidation tactics that are going to start happening. I ran with that crowd for a very long time. They are very dangerous. But it's not their fault. A lot of them are trust fund babies. A lot of them are misguided, bored, drug addicts. It's a crazy crowd. But a lot of them are very well educated, and a lot of them were very committed in changing financial policy in the United States. But what happened in 1999, 1995, even the early 2000s, before the 2000 election? The China joining the WTO. The 1999 Seattle riots out there where a lot of people were, the news media, which again, that's another problem, which thank you very much, news. You know, do what you do. I'm going to donate at least $5, not a lot, but I'm going to donate what I can to, because that's how I got into politics, was independent media. That's the game, y'all. Start whatever you need to do in getting into media in some form, fashion, because that's how you get into the halls of Congress. It's not by accident CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all of them have embedded people at the halls of Congress because they got ears and eyes for who? Corporate donors. Not by accident, MSNBC is sponsored by General Dynamics, Those are the same people dropping bombs on people's heads all over the world. They're on the boards of a lot of these companies that control our lives all day, every day. And I think it was no taxation. I'm sorry if it was her or the other madam, I think it was Professor, who brought up Peter Thiel. So let's fast forward, globalization in place, NAFTA tore down financial securities for workers, not only in the United States, but in Canada. Then we wonder, jumping the border. Before we can even get to that, what happened? 9/11. So let's fast forward now where we are. 2008 financial crash. That was not by accident. And fast forward now where we are now with COVID, post-COVID, and now our economy is tanking. This was not by accident. This was all by design. It's whoever's still around to keep the plan going from whenever it was initiated. And unfortunately, a lot of it is anti-Black policy.
All right.
And I want you all to understand moving forward.
DJ, I'm Blackson. I'm gonna give you maybe about a minute, and then we'll go ahead because I'm gonna get ready to close this thing out.
I want to say everybody in here is working their hearts out to get the truth out. You got to do it through independent media, your own blog, because legacy media is not going to be on your side. They're not on your side. I guarantee it. I did it for a long time. Their agenda is to follow their donors and follow the people on their boards. And those people are on the same boards of military, defense, food, agro. They don't care. So moving forward, do what you got to do. I know what I'm going to do is I'm going to build myself my own semiconductor warehouses and build that junk here, because China is going to invade Taiwan. And what happens to us next? Ukraine is the biggest developer of bread around the world. That's crazy.
Okay, sister, I got it, but I thank you because we got to get ready to close this out. But
Thank you very much for everything you're doing. Do what you all got to do as Black Americans and anybody even in the diaspora. Work hard for yourselves and for your community and provide financial stability for your families, because they will not do it for you. I'm trying to do it for myself and for my community. Much love, peace.
all right, thank you, sister. I'm gonna get Professor, and then we're gonna get ready to close this thing out for the night. I see Stephanie and Moku coming up here, guys. I'm gonna give y'all a minute because I gotta get ready to close this thing out for the night. But Professor, go ahead real quick. Go do a minute, because then give each other person a minute, because we closing this thing out for the night. But go ahead, Professor.
Yeah, man, my eyes are just real quick, and that is, look, y'all, we know that they sending out all kinds of stuff to put people in fear or scare people or scare tactics. We know that this happens every day. But remember, we're still living in America where things can happen to you anywhere, everywhere, in a church, in a store. Remember, there's been Black Americans that have been killed anywhere and everywhere in this country. Even Black Americans that have been hung from trees, and they sit there and tell us it's suicide, right? So I'm telling you, as somebody that's been in the military, I pay attention to my surroundings no matter where I'm at. And I'm telling you all that you need to do that too. All right, and I'm going to land right there.
All right, appreciate that. Stephanie, go ahead real quick.
Hey, Newstoter, salute to the entire chat. Trump immigration reform is long overdue. It should have happened 4 years ago, but instead it just became a floodgate of sort. I'm glad that it's happening. This thing with the anchor baby or the I forgot. I can't think right now. I got so much going on. But as far as the birthright citizenship, I'm glad it's happening. I hope it goes retroactively at least 2-3 generations. It's long overdue. The NAACP, we already know who's running around in that organization, a bunch of raccoons. It's too late for them to try to pander to us now. They should have been helping us a long time ago, and I think that the Black community would be a lot better off had we been in a much better situation, because this is crazy. And you know, now that they're seeing, they're finally getting to understand what we've been through, what we've been trying to tell them, and they're trying to paint a whole new narrative. I'm just glad we're doing what we're doing. I hope we do this again in another 4 years. Stay laser focused, and that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Miss Stephanie. I'm gonna give you DJ's having a late night space, guys. So DJ's having a late night space. Moko, I give you a minute.
No, I don't even need that, Toda. Thanks for letting me speak. Thank you for having this space. I apologize. I had a phone call that took me out of space, but I'll be in the next space, late night space, and I'll let my viewers off then. Thanks, G. Thanks, News.
All right, no problem, guys. So we will be back Monday. Thank everybody who came out to this space tonight. If you're not following us on Twitter, make sure you follow us on Twitter, on YouTube as well. Follow Newstoter on YouTube as well, guys. Have a great weekend. Join the late night space. Is going to be a recap of this space here as well, too. DJ Seg 1, WPI will be having that space. So, guys, come through, and the conversation will continue. We will see you guys. Peace. Love to everybody. See you guys Monday.